Boys in the back. Boys.
What is good? We are back with another edition of the Boys in the Back. This time, we get to talk about the UFC being back. The long-awaited break is finally over. And we're going to talk about every single fight on that card. But first and foremost, I'm Connor Burks, 1/3 of the Boys in the Back, with my man, the myth, the legend, Mr. New York Rick.
Hello.
Can't live with him. Can't live without him. It's Eric Jackman. And then the final third, the finishing piece of the trifecta to create the Boys in the Back. Mr. Frankie Lenz, how you doing, brother?
Ahoy, ahoy. Great, man.
You are doing great. You know, I know there was a kind of a questions around it on yesterday's program.
The rotisserie chicken for lunch wasn't nearly as good as the one that we're going to discuss later on.
Oh, so, shout out.
Wow.
We'll admit.
Little teaser.
Love it. Little
Salty.
teaser for Fight Feast. Fight Feast Dominican Republic in honor of the salsa boy, Waldo Cortez Acosta. Andy
Your
Jordan. You
favorite
guys, yeah. We were repping it right here. Shout out to the last 4/5 of the Boys in the Back. Andy and Jordan, how we doing back there, you know? We're hitting everybody.
We're good, man. We're excited to be here.
I don't know what Frank was talking about. My meal was pretty solid.
Me too.
It
I had
was
the beef.
I didn't have it. I was still full from the Dominican food on Saturday, so I didn't have this one. I have rarely been more excited to be on this program than I am today because UFC 324 is happening this weekend. The long-awaited break is over. We have not seen the promotion in action since December 13th.
Wow, yeah.
And it was for an Apex card. This is for the debut on Paramount Plus. Back-to-back numbered events. Still trying to get used to this. This feels like Twitter X. Back-to-back pay-per-views to start the year. UFC 324, UFC 325. Feels good to be back, man.
Yeah. It's been a long wait. I do feel like a bit of time between cards gives you time to appreciate them. Like, I'm now anxious and anticipating 324. I will say this was maybe a little too much. Like, give me like 2-3 good weeks and I'm ready to rock.
I feel like 3 weeks is the perfect range.
Yeah.
Because like I cannot wait for this card on Saturday. But then, you know, once they do like 9 of 10 weeks and like 5 of them are Apex cards, you're like, you know, I could use that like 3-week break now leading into a pay-per-view. Either way, we will break down that entire card. But first, let's hit some news and notes around the world of mixed martial arts. We actually start with one half of the main event of UFC 324. Justin Gaethje, who at Media Day had this to say in terms of fighter pay, bonuses, how he feels about the pay structure in the UFC heading into this new Paramount deal.
It's been talked about how much money you've made in performance bonuses in your UFC career. I'd like to ask, what's the smartest thing you ever did with that performance bonus money? And could you tell us maybe something you wish you did differently with some of the money?
Oh, man, to have 14 bonuses and not equal up to $1 million, it's not right. It's not right. It should be a lot more than that. And I should have had opportunities to do smarter things with my money, but I don't, and I haven't. And to this day, everyone's, you know, I hear Daniel Cormier saying that everybody's going to get paid more on this card. I'm not getting $1 more than I would have if this deal did not happen.
Yeah, so my initial reaction is, one, agree with Justin Gaethje, right? If you are somebody who has delivered to the company in the way that he has, for 14 bonuses to be worth $1 million, less than $1 million, according to him, I know that somebody's like done the calculations on this, is a significant thing. Like, that is less than you would expect for somebody who has been able to deliver for the company. Obviously, it's important to note that like he has his purse, he gets paid that as well. It's not just like Justin Gaethje has made less than $1 million in his career. He's made that off making those bonuses, but the bonuses are $50,000. It hasn't changed in a very long time. And Justin Gaethje has been somebody who has been at the top of cards, headlining cards, delivering in his performances, and he's thinking now. I can imagine at the beginning of your career, like when Justin Gaethje got into the UFC, fresh out of WSOF at the time. I don't think was it even PFL? I forget. It was right near the end of.
I think it was WSOF.
So he's coming at end of WSOF, and he's talking about, I want to die in there. I'm not going to be here for very long. I might retire in 3 fights. He was very much like this like wild man that didn't have much of a concern for his health, his well-being, and the longevity of his career. He's now many years beyond that, a veteran of the sport who has many performances, 14 performance bonuses within the UFC. And you have to imagine that a guy who has done all this and given so much to this sport and given so much to the fans starts to think about, man, did I really get what I was worth? Did I get the commensurate compensation for what I gave to everybody else, right? He gave so much of his blood, sweat, tears, his body, his brain. And to look at it now in totality, where you know that you're nearing the end, and Justin's been talking about, like, if I lose, I might retire. If he was sitting out talking about retiring, he's probably doing the calculus on that and saying, I came up short in terms of what I probably should have made.
There's a chance that he doesn't become champion, which obviously comes with extra income with it. But you talk about
used to.
Yeah,
we don't know if it does anymore.
Stuff now. But just the rise of your star power, brand deals that you can create off of being the lightweight champion of the UFC, 100%. Obviously. There's ways to make money. You talk about what he did for the company and for his body. 14 performance of the night bonuses, fight of the night bonuses, just bonuses in general in 14 fights.
Yeah.
2 fights, he didn't get any bonus. And then also in 2 fights, he doubled up and got fight of the night and performance of the night.
Yeah, he's
every time he goes to the octagon, he is putting on a show.
Yeah, and what were the 2 that he didn't get it in?
The 2 that he didn't get it in were the loss to Charles Oliveira.
Yeah.
Title fight against one of the best lightweights in the world. And the loss to Khabib Nurmagomedov. Title fight against one of the best lightweights ever. 2
fights where he didn't really have an opportunity to perform because he was kind of, it was a bit one-sided. They took it to him, and he didn't have a chance to showcase what he was able to do. But in every other opportunity, when he's able to fight, he's bonus worthy. It's almost a guarantee, as you've pointed out.
It really is almost a guarantee just looking at his resume. It's truly incredible what he's done for the promotion, and it's like borderline sad seeing a guy like this nearing the end of his career and speaking that way about an organization. Like, imagine, I know we always make the comparisons.
I just want to stop you for 1 second. You said something critical there.
Okay.
You said, speaking this way about an organization. Did he speak about the organization?
Yeah.
He seemed to point the blame toward Daniel Cormier, right? He seemed to say, Daniel Cormier, no, he didn't seem to say, this is exactly what he said. Daniel Cormier is out here talking about the fighters are going to make more money, but I don't have any extra money in my pocket. All due respect to Justin Gaethje, like, Daniel Cormier is not the one making these decisions, right? Daniel Cormier is not the one who is putting the money in the fighter's pocket, signing their checks. And so it doesn't really matter what Daniel Cormier says. Dana White going out and saying, this is going to be good for the fighters, this is going to be good, and we're going to pay them more, is something that you could be held to account for, right? And we talk about over
which
and over.
He did say. He was
and
like,
he said it.
You know, you guys are going to get taken care of.
He said it. It's on wax. He has said it, and you can play back the tape. And so I do wonder if Justin, look, I don't envy any of the fighters in the UFC. They have to play a very tricky game. If Justin Gaethje goes out there and goes, man, the UFC is not paying me enough, fuck those guys, it's not good for your career, right? Now, he probably doesn't have many left, so it couldn't hamper him in the same way it would come for an up-and-coming prospect. But it's not good for your career, right? You're not going to get the opportunities. You're not going to fight for an interim title against Paddy Pimblett in an opportunity that nobody really thought was even possible if you're the guy that's like, F the UFC. But at the same time, you're coming toward the end, and you really didn't make what you probably deserved. And there's a lot of fighters out there like that, right? John Jones didn't make what he deserved in his career, so he's like, let me make this all back. Give me a $30 million paydown. Now, he ultimately turned that down, but there's a lot of fighters, once you come to the end of that UFC run and you go, shit, did I make enough money? Did I make all I could have? And the calculus usually ends up in the wrong side of the equation.
Yeah, I mean, you say, like, did he go after the UFC? But indirectly, like, he is implying. He literally says, I should have. He said, I should have gotten way more. It's not right. Like, saying that about your work compensation, being like, this isn't right, man. This is not right. And now that I'm getting into the point of my career where I can look at it as a retrospective, this is not right. I should have been paid a lot more.
I mean, stupid question, but going to ask it. You agree, yes?
Yes, of course, dude.
There's no doubt.
I know there's different pay scales, different pay structures, they're different organizations, they're different leagues, everything like that. But like, you got guys in the NFL who, if they hit like 850 receiving yards, get an extra $2.5 million. Like, you get these incentive bonuses. If you're going out there and putting on a show every single time, putting your your body, your brain on the line every single time, and you're delivering, you're becoming that fan favorite to the point where you're recognizing it, being like, here's 50K, here's 50K, here's 50K, here's 50K, here's 50K. Every single time you go out, you are giving them the bonus. There should be a, yo, man, you've been fucking killing it for us. Like, here's an additional XYZ.
Yeah.
Or also, it does come down to the bonuses should be more than 50K. They've been 50K through now several TV deals. Like they keep getting more and more and more money, and it just keeps staying 50K. I mean, like if you go back to 2010 and you just throw it in an inflation calculator, 50K is now worth 33K.
Yeah.
Like
it needs to be.
It needs to be higher. It needs to be adjusted to be higher. Period.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right on that. And when Justin was, I tried to make the comparison to Justin when he enters the UFC, right? And you look at these fighters that when they get the bonus, right? How many times do we see an Instagram of a fighter who has 2 or 3 fights in the UFC and the manager comes into the back when they're doing their photo shoots with Roach and they go, you got the 50K. And it makes these fighters' lives, right? Like, because I can buy myself a minivan. I could do whatever. Like, it is so significant at that point in your career. That's not where Justin Gaethje is anymore. He's beyond the 50K, I'm getting myself a minivan, or he didn't answer the question about what he did with his investments. I don't know what he's been spending the bonus money on, but he's way beyond that. We're now 14 fights deep into this career, and we've given so much, and the money is the money. It's not going to change. The money that you made, the contracts that you signed are going to be there. There's going to be people who say, well, you signed the contract, it is what it is, you know what the terms you're getting into. I mean, there's not really much you can kind of say to somebody who's looking at it from that point of view. There's also somebody who would argue, as a devil's advocate argument, like Justin Gaethje's payment for that sacrifice is opportunities, right? Dana White always says it's not a job, it's an opportunity. It's not a career, it's an opportunity. Maybe he gets title shots that he would not have gotten otherwise because of his sacrifices, because of what he gave. But at the end of the day, you can't take those into retirement. You can't put those in an investment account. You need to be compensated. And so it's interesting to hear him say that. I'm a little more, what's the word? Not skeptical. I'm a little, maybe skeptical. I feel a little differently than you in terms of this does not feel like a shot across the bow of the UFC. Like it feels more like to cite Daniel Cormier, to talk about Daniel Cormier's name, when you very easily could have subbed Dana White's name in there, to me tells me that it's a little bit of a bet hedge. It's a little bit of a like, I don't really want to upset the UFC, but I do want to make this known. And like, as I said, he's in a very difficult spot. I don't blame him one bit. I'm not advocating for Justin Gaethje to be the leader of a revolution that he doesn't want to be the leader of, but it does not feel like an affront to the UFC.
And if this is what he's saying at the press conference, imagine what he's saying behind closed doors.
Oh yeah.
We also talk about like, it could be on the fighter. You know, you sign the contracts and everything like that. Someone who's there to help the fighter make more money. The managers, he's managed by Ali Abdulaziz, who said back in August when this contract was signed about the potential of fighters getting paid more.
The best thing for the fighters. I think no pay-per-view, especially for champion, people are going to make a lot more money, a lot more opportunity. You're going to be on open TV and then, just CBS. Millions and millions at homes, more opportunity, more sponsor. I think everybody's going to start making a lot more money now, and everybody should be excited. I know some people come out, they said it's not good for the fighter. How are you going to tell me this is not good for the fighter? And the UFC is going to make almost double the money they make. You don't think they're going to throw the fighters? If we're not getting our fighter more money, we should not be managers. I think everybody's getting taken care of. Everybody already, some of these guys getting better deals, better contract, and I think it's better for everyone.
If we are not making our fighters more money, we should not be managers. Justin Gaethje then says yesterday at the press conference, I am not making any more money, as if this deal never happened.
Yeah. I don't want to give Ali any bail. My only thing is, we're very new into the Paramount contract.
I do agree with you there.
Let's see what happens. By the way, this is where the bail ends. I don't expect anything to change. I don't expect a single thing to change. I think the UFC is hoping that he mentions champions, right? I think they're hoping that no champions go, well, I don't make pay-per-view. What am I going to make? And then they just go, it is what it is. Maybe we'll give you a little extra. Nobody's been able to speak with any clarity on how that changes. The only one who's even kind of mentioned it is Conor McGregor in saying like, my contract's now null and void because it's predicated on the fact that I'm the biggest pay-per-view earner in the sport, and when I fight, it's on pay-per-view, and
it's
I
gonna
know
get 1 million buys every single time.
Yeah, so I know what I'm making, right? No other fighter can kind of demand that or dictate that, and so I think they're hoping that just the rest of them go, all right, you're going to throw me an extra whatever? Okay, cool. Maybe they don't get anything extra. We have no clarity on this. We have no understanding of it. And that's why I'm saying, like, it's a little bit early. Let's find out. But if if two fights into this, if Volk fights, next week, I was like, yeah, I didn't make a dime extra, even though I'm a champion in the UFC. That'd be really disheartening to hear.
Honestly, imagine if we get like 6 months into this. Let's say we do like the July pay-per-view and a fighter comes out and is just like, man, where's this extra bread we're talking about? Because I'm not getting any of it.
They'd say, where's this extra bread Daniel Cormier was talking about?
Daniel said I'm supposed to get paid more. How can I take this up with him?
I wouldn't want to be Daniel, like the texts that are coming to DC.
I can't lie, dude. I would feel like a certain type of way if you're Justin Gaethje and you're frustrated with how much money you're making. And then like Daniel Cormier sits here and talks to Helwani and he's just like, bro, the UFC is taking care of me like I never could have imagined. They're paying me so well, it's not even funny. And then Gaethje's like, it's like the, oh shit, here we go again meme. Like, it's just like, let's go to war again to try and get another 50K bonus and like improve our careers.
It's a fantastic point. You're right. Like, I'm making light of the fact that, it's really the UFC that should draw the ire and not Daniel Cormier. But you're right. When somebody like DC is talking about how great he has it as a commentator, and by the way, this is not to say DC shouldn't. DC's great at his job and should. We're 100% on the same page there. But I would feel some type of way too if I'm DC doesn't have to sacrifice his body anymore. He did that. He did that part, and he was great. Now I'm Justin Gaethje still at the end and having to do that. It's unfortunate.
One other thing you mentioned was like the under the table stuff.
Yeah.
Is like a lot of people who say like we shouldn't be concerned, we don't know about it. The defense is like, well, what about the under the table stuff? We just don't know about the under the table stuff. And like obviously it wasn't enough for Justin Gaethje to not be frustrated with his pay structure.
I don't know if that even happens anymore. That was very much a part of the Lorenzo Fertitta ownership era.
Okay.
There are a million fighters that came out and were like,
I went out to my mailbox and there was $1 million check.
That's it.
I actually think that was a Cormier story.
I think Cormier said that. I went to my mailbox and I had a check for $1 million. They were all about that. This is why it's so imperative, and I know people are sick of hearing people complain about fighter pay, and I understand why, right? If the fighters themselves aren't really like making enough noise about it, why should we care about anybody else doing it? And I understand the apathy toward that. But at the same time, this is why when Zuffa Boxing is launching, this is why when somebody like Justin Gaethje was given so much to this sport and we care about so much as a fighter is talking about this stuff, it matters. And this is why the class action lawsuits matter, right? If the UFC is the only game in town and we're now seeing like changes with the PFL, but there's really not a lot of alternatives for UFC fighters at this point, or MMA fighters who are not in the UFC at this point. It's so important that there be other options, because then you can get your value, because then you can leverage. Then you can do what Francis Ngannou did and say, I need these massive paydays that I was not going to get with the UFC. The exposure is great. The opportunity to fight John Jones would have been great, but it doesn't replace the money that I can make in the prime of my career for my earning potential. Imagine if somebody like Justin Gaethje had another place to go to be the most exciting fighter on the planet and somebody was willing to pay him what he was worth to do that. It's a completely different world if that happens, and that's why it's so important that like some of these things happen, and the class action lawsuit has to see a conclusion.
1,000%. And then lastly, you talk about how like Gaethje kind of wants to keep the ship moving, doesn't want to rock the boat too much. In like other sports, your playing isn't necessarily determined by the commissioner of the league. Like, it's not like, obviously on teams, you can't go out and be like, yo, fuck my coach and things like that. Yeah. But like, you can come out and talk about issues you have within the league without like being like, well, the Mavericks are out of the playoffs now because of what you said. You rock the boat enough, it's just like, you're not getting a title shot.
Yeah, the schedule makers are not going to take you off the schedule.
Exactly. They're not going to eliminate your chance of going to the playoffs and playing for the NBA title. But like, they can, as we've seen here with many guys they've had issues with, just like, nah, we don't need to go.
Yeah, Armin Sarukian, man, like, what's he got to do to get a title shot? He's not in good standing. He'll get his payback. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. But I think we've discussed this to its conclusion. I do hope that one day there's a day where the fighters have more opportunity to maximize their earning potential. That's all I can ask.
1,000%, man. These guys really are like week after week putting their lives on the line. Like they are putting their bodies on the line for our entertainment. I would love to see them get paid as much as possible, especially with the deal that the UFC is signing, $7.7 billion. Speaking of the big man, Dana White was on 92.3, a little radio interview. Love a throwback radio interview. He was asked about cheering against UFC fighters. He had this to say.
When was the last time you wanted a UFC fighter to lose?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
That's a great question. Probably the middle of last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, probably the middle of last year.
Oh, so that recent.
We have almost 1,000 guys under contract. They don't all like me, and I don't like all of them either. So it's totally normal.
Shout out to Real 92.3, LA's new home for hip hop, KRRL. That actually is a pretty good question. I never thought for someone to ask Dana that. And I honestly respect to him for answering it candidly and not being like, nah, never, never, never. He makes a good point. Like, there's hundreds of fighters on the roster. They're dealing with all of these contracts. Like, there's bound to be one that you're like, yeah, no, wouldn't be the worst thing he lost. The question is, who was it?
Who was the person?
Was it? Was it like a big name star that he was cheering against?
Should we look at the pay-per-views for
the pay-per-views of the middle of last year? Was International Fight Week. You had Taporia and Oliveira. That was June 28th.
Definitely neither of those guys.
UFC 318, Holloway versus Poirier.
Nah.
Like, he's not cheering for either of them. Paulo Costa on that card?
Nah.
Like, could it be Paulo Costa? Kevin Holland, Daniel Rodriguez?
Nah.
Dan Ige, Patricio Pitbull?
Nah, what's the next pay-per-view there?
You had DDP versus Hamzat.
Could it have been like a fighter who headlined in, let's just say, like Doha Qatar?
Wow, we're talking Doha Qatar. That was November, though. You're talking about Arman Sarukian?
You said it, not me. I don't know.
Yeah, what were the fight nights in the middle?
When was Alex Pereira versus
October. March and October. There was Merab. Merab fought in June. Merab versus
Merab
O'Malley.
had turned the tide by then.
I think we're taking middle of the year
Maybe
a little
too
too
literally.
literal from
Yeah.
Dana. Like, could really be anytime. By the way, also in that interview, he...
Yo, someone in the chat says Bilal in May.
That one's tasty.
In that interview as well, though, he does tell a story about how he lost $3 million in a casino while his fighters are out there being like, we're not making enough money.
Well, that's a perfect, like, the fact that we have a thank you for that, Jordan. The fact that we have like a number around it. Justin Gaethje, 14 performances, can't miss. Guy that you want for any promotion that you're going to do. The human highlight reel, $1 million in total bonuses. Dana White, one night, $3 million thrown on the table.
Great point.
That is a great point.
And Dana.
The chat is chiming in July 26th. Saeed Nurmagomedov against Bryce Mitchell.
Nah.
You don't think so?
No, I don't actually.
I think it was, someone said there was Buckley Usman around there.
Oh.
Ankalaev.
Either way, this is a futile exercise. I like that the chat's chiming in on it. My bigger takeaway is, one, I don't really have much of a problem with Dana White saying it. As you said, like, how many times do we sit here and be like, man, the UFC wouldn't be mad at having Sean O'Malley as champion? Like, how much do we already, like, openly kind of acknowledge that the UFC probably has a lean that they want to go? It's not like he went, and I did everything in my power to stop that guy from winning. He gave him the fight.
You think Roger Goodell isn't clenched ass cheeks when there's a
100%.
field goal on the line to send Patrick Mahomes to the Super Bowl? He's like, oh, wouldn't mind if the Chiefs winning again.
Exactly. And so I don't have a ton of a problem. It is a bit weird to admit it, I think, just like in a media opportunity.
I actually have never thought of someone asking that
question.
Just asking that bluntly. So, I mean, respect to him for answering it. Actually, it's a funny
DJ's
exercise.
name is Big Boy? Do I have that right?
Big Boy on Real 92.3, LA's new home for hip hop. My favorite thing about radio stations is that this has probably been LA's new home for hip hop for like a decade and a half.
It's the new home for
it's always the
years.
new. In Atlanta, it was 95.5 The Beat. Atlanta's new home for hip hop. My entire childhood, every commercial was
still,
just
by
like
the way.
95.5 The Beat. Atlanta's new home for hip hop.
Love it.
I was like, it's been the new home for a while. We had 97.1 The River, Atlanta's new home for
97.1 is our hip hop also.
Classic
Hot 97.
rock. This was classic rock.
Yeah, that's right.
it's funny how like you get ingrained with the radio stations.
The numbers for sure.
104.7 The Fish. My mom was a big
It was
Christian.
only Fish?
No, it was a Christian
it's the fish
radio.
because of the
fish.
Jesus fish.
Yeah. Star 94. Shout out, man. Shout out to radio. Love a good radio
believe
station.
it's been real 92.3 since 2015.
Okay, but what about the
been a
new?
decade.
It's probably the newest.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. It has a new hip hop station
If you're
opened
the
up since
newest,
2015.
if you're the newest, you're still allowed to say
Yeah,
it.
you're the new home for hip hop. So yeah, shout out to them. Interesting answer from Dana. I wonder who it was. Bryce? Blow.
I don't know about Bryce.
Buckley?
Look, Bryce gave them a real opportunity. If Dana White really didn't like Bryce Mitchell, there was a real opportunity to get rid of Bryce Mitchell there.
It's gonna be someone like super random.
Yeah.
Just like someone like that, like everyone loves.
James Tahuno?
Definitely.
That's why I got
That's it.
Aaron Pico.
No.
Maybe
one of the Bellator.
Make a point.
Or the
Make a
PFL crossover guys.
Kaya Sakura.
No,
Lupi-
definitely not that. They
Lupi
wanted
Godinez?
Japan-
Just like,
Just
I
random.
fucking wanted to lose so fucking bad. Did you see the new, speaking of Paramount debut, did you see these new lights that we've got? I don't know how they're going to use these, but some videos have dropped. Patty, Justin, O'Malley, Song, they're in some sort of like, what do we want to call this? A light apparatus?
Yeah, I don't know what to call it.
Also,
Some in a light
Patty's
room.
posture is insane.
Yeah, can we pause there for a second?
The posture on Patty
It's
is
like the
crazy.
shoulders are all the way back, the neck is out. It's very bizarre. It's not a straight line at all.
Look, dude, he is jacked to the gills right
Yeah.
now. But when he's like 60, the back's gonna look crazy. It's already a bit of like a hunchback. Could he like do one of the like bow stretches where he's like, oh yeah, like one of these, and like it'd be nice, or is he just like that's what it's like?
No, that's just it. That's just him.
Shout out.
Is Patty as big as you thought he'd be standing next to Justin? I thought he'd be bigger.
Oh no, I kind of felt like they were gonna look like that, like similar sizes.
He's thick though. God, he's a big boy, huh?
Yeah.
He's big for this weight class. God bless him for the weight cuts that he puts himself through. God bless that dude.
He just locks in, man. He just gets.
Fuck, does he?
Let's get into it. UFC 324 preview. Justin Gaethje, the aforementioned, taking on Paddy Pimblett. We just saw the face-off there for the interim lightweight championship of the world. Matchmaking aside, how we got to this point aside, number 4 versus number 5, you know, Arman Tsarukyan hanging out there. It is what it is. How excited are you for this fight?
Number 1 streamer, influencer in the world, Arman Tsarukyan. I'm excited for it as a fight, not anything to do with stakes. As since the moment it was announced, I've said that this is a Fugazi title. It's a Mickey Mouse belt. I don't care about it. Ilia Topuria is the champion of this division. Arman Tsarukyan is the rightful contender to it. Let me get that out of the way. Because as a fight, this is a fantastic fight. Like, this is exactly the step up that I want to see for Paddy Pimblett in his career. I was very impressed by the Michael Chandler win. I thought Chandler was going to be able to beat him in that fight because I've been doubting Paddy for a long time. This is a step up from that, right? And it feels like the appropriate step up. Justin Gaethje is not in the peak of his prime anymore, right? He's clearly on the downside, but not enough. Like, I would say Chandler is further down the other side of the hill than Justin Gaethje is. Justin Gaethje's he's definitely on the back nine. He's definitely, on the other, he reached the peak and he's on the other side of that hill now, but he's still closer to the top than I think Chandler is. And so I think this is a very interesting test. And not only from just the where is Justin Gaethje and where are Paddy Pimblett in their career, I think stylistically it's very interesting because I know, I feel like there's this kind of forgetting that Justin Gaethje can really sprawl and really grapple when he wants to. Because of how much he likes to stand and throw hands. That's basically become the entire back half of his career. Or actually, most of it. By the time he got to PFL, to WSOF, he's just standing there hammering leg kicks and throwing hands. But when people have tried to take him down, he will sprawl so hard that your face will hit the canvas. He really can prevent takedowns when he wants to. And now we're talking, years ago at this point, because not many people even try to take him down. They mostly stand with him. I believe in Justin Gaethje's defensive grappling, which puts it in a position where can Paddy Pimblett beat up Justin Gaethje on the feet? And I'm not 100% sure. And so that's why I think this fight is particularly compelling and interesting because stylistically, I think it's going to be a contrast of some interesting styles clashing.
You say I'm not sure. I'm actually fairly confident if this solely stayed standing, it would be a bad night at the office for Paddy Pimblett.
You weren't impressed enough with the hands against Chandler? Because he did well there.
No. I thought he had he beat him pillar to post. He beat
him up.
The shit out of Michael Chandler. It was one of the most impressive performances we saw in all of 2025. I just don't think a 25-minute striking match against Justin Gaethje is the way that Paddy Pimblett wins this fight. I'm just uncertain of him being able to get it done that way, whether it's Justin Gaethje catching him. I know, he says Scousers don't get knocked out. He's never been finished.
Yeah.
Whether it's him catching him or it's just an accumulation of damage over the 25 minutes, landing massive shots, going to those leg kicks, everything like that. I think in the game plan, it's going to be to get it to the ground. He said as much in interviews. He's talking about, once he gets to the mat, I have all the advantage there. And I think he does. I think once he gets him on the ground, the availability of getting a submission, of the ground and pound. We saw nasty elbows against Michael Chandler. I just think the advantage there is so great that he is going to get it there at some point. Whether it's in the first round, like Gaethje, to your point, he does have good takedown defense. He isn't unstoppable when it comes to that. It's not like he's like a Jose Aldo where it's just like, how do you get this guy to the ground? His balance is unreal. He can be taken down, and I think at some point Paddy Pimblett is going to be able to do that. And once it's there, his advantages will shine.
So you think he'll only need a few? He gets it 1 or 2 times down, and he'll win.
Yeah, because we've never really seen Justin Gaethje just ragdolled around. Even in the Khabib fight, I think he only got 2 takedowns, and he mostly stayed on the feet with them. And then the Charles Oliveira one, obviously that one ended by submission, but it was a knockdown, and then they went to the ground and everything like that. So we haven't seen him just down, up, down, up, down, up type thing. I just think Paddy Pimblett will stay patient. I think he'll be opportunistic, and when it comes, he will take him down. We talk about him beating the shit out of Michael Chandler, and the doubt that has surrounded Paddy Pimblett his entire career. It really does feel as he's aged in the UFC, it feels like he's improving almost every time out. Since the Jared Gordon performance, every time we've seen him, it's been damn, Paddy looked really good there. I feel like he is making significant improvements each time out.
Yeah, I was very impressed by the Michael Chandler fight. And yet I sit here
and doubt him again.
And I think Justin Gaethje is going to win the fight.
I've seen a lot of people, and I am picking Paddy Pimblett to win this fight somewhat confidently, but Justin Gaethje is as live of a dog as you can get. He can absolutely win this fight. There is no question about it.
Yeah, and I think we even heard Dustin Poirier come on the show with Ariel and say he expects Gaethje to finish him, right? And he seemed pretty confident to the point that he didn't seem to be giving Paddy much of a shot. To me, it just feels like...
Now, is there an inherent bias there in the fact that he's fought Justin Gaethje twice, sort of
Dustin, you mean?
Yeah. It's sort of of his class of UFC,
Potentially, yeah, for sure. The veterans do tend to go pick the other veterans, and also, as you said, he shared the octagon twice with him. Justin has knocked Dustin out brutally, and so that memory of that, I'm sure, is very hard to shake, and you can imagine him doing that to somebody else.
Right, because I think Michael Chandler spoke about it differently because he's been in there with both of them.
Yeah.
Both of them being pretty brutal results for him.
Yeah. Again, I think Chandler's further away from his prime, right? In the peak of his prime, at least, than Justin is. To me, it comes down to, I think if Justin can be defensively sound, the offense will pretty much be there, right? If he can prevent himself from getting taken down and just hammer leg kicks, I don't know what Paddy Pimblett's going to be able to do on the feet. And so if he starts chopping at those legs and making the takedowns, the shooting into those takedowns a little bit harder, or makes closing the distance a little bit harder, I could see by round 2 or 3 it looking real hard for Paddy Pimblett. Starts to look like he's in mud. To get there, though, he has to stop Paddy Pimblett from taking him down, and that's going to be the task. But I do think if he can be very patient and be very diligent with chopping at Paddy's legs and just peppering those punches, the defense will create the opportunity that in the end, the offense is just going to overwhelm. Whereas at Paddy, I don't think you can sit on your back foot. I don't think you can kind of just wait for the fight to develop. He needs to be in on those takedowns. He needs to be pressing Justin Gaethje. The other thing about Paddy is Tremendous chin, tremendous pace. He can be in Justin Gaethje's face
Vicious too.
And he you said those elbows against Michael Chandler, he was beating him up. Patty can do that, and so that's the fear, right? If you're somebody who like me who's thinking, I think Justin Gaethje can win this fight, and stylistically there's some advantages. The potential flaw in that is if Patty's in his face for 4 good minutes at the very start of this fight, that's going to be dangerous. That's going to be really hard for Justin Gaethje to deal with. Patty's big, Patty's strong, and if he's fresh and can take him down, Justin is going to be in a world of trouble. But Justin's also going to be fresh, and if he can get those hips in and just sprawl, I do wonder if he's still got enough to scramble. And so I'm not super confident. This is by no means me going out there and being like, people are crazy. What are you thinking with Paddy Pimblett? It's me just looking at Justin Gaethje, seeing the style, looking at the dog odds and being like, yeah, I think Justin can win this fight.
Let's not forget also, like when you talk about level of competition, Paddy Pimblett has fought many people on the back end of their careers who have been riding losing streaks into the matchups that he's had with them, while Justin Gaethje is Rafael Fiziev twice, Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier, Charles Oliveira, Michael Chandler, Khabib Nurmagomedov, Tony Ferguson, Donald Cerrone, Edson Barboza, James Vick, Dustin Poirier, Eddie Alvarez, Michael Johnson.
Yeah.
That's his entire UFC career right there.
Yeah. And Michael Johnson was a guy when he debuted.
Like this is Michael Johnson in 2017.
Exactly.
This is no off nights.
Yeah.
This is no layups for this man, Justin Gaethje. The level of competition is out of this world. And throughout that, he's only lost, 5 times?
Yeah, and that's what makes the fight so interesting to me is that Justin Gaethje may not be there anymore. But is a 75% there Justin Gaethje still good enough to beat Paddy? That's what I'm so fascinated by and so interested in.
It's going to be a sick fight, dude. Well, however we got to this point, both these dudes are violent and are willing to go out on their shield, are aggressive, have finishing capability. Like, it's going to be a banger.
Paddy is very unconventional. Paddy is not always super clean technically. And it makes people think like you have to be good, but that's not the truth, right? Some of the guys who are the best at the sport are the like weird rhythm, offbeat, kind of interesting, funky guys. And Paddy's just a weird guy. He's just a funky type of fighter. Even down to the posture. Like he's just a different type of dude. He doesn't fight like everybody else. And so I think it works in his advantage that it's very difficult to deal with. But when it comes to people looking at him and being like, I believe, like as an example, you can watch Ilia Topuria punch somebody in the head and you can see the beauty in it. You can understand this man is a master technician. This man, the way that he moves and the way that he fights is different than everybody else, but in a way that you can appreciate the beauty. I don't think Paddy Pimblett has this particularly beautiful game, right? It can be brutal, it can be crushing, it can be very effective, but I think that's some of the hesitancy around Paddy Pimblett is like, he's not the conventional guy. He doesn't come in there and he doesn't throw clean punches and just separate people from their consciousness, but he's mean. He's aggressive. He can really break people in there like he did to Michael Chandler. And so there's a chance that he just does that to Justin Gaethje. Even if he does, there will be the people, like probably me, depending on what his next fight is, that goes, okay, I'm impressed, but I'm not picking him against Ilia Topuria.
Okay,
or I'm not picking him against Arman Tsarukyan.
I'm picking him here, and if the pick comes to fruition and he wins, I will be very impressed. I will not be picking him against Ilia Topuria.
And that's the Paddy Pimblett story.
That's actually a great transition point, though. Do we think, let's say we live in a world where Paddy wins, then Ilia Topuria's tweet is correct and they end up fighting in the summer?
I would love it. It's the fight I've wanted. You have the built-in heat. You have the built-in storyline. I'm totally fine with it. If this has dragged on a long time, though, and Arman Tsarukyan has done nothing but completely dismantle Dan Hooker and raise his profile to the degree that he's one of the biggest UFC stars right now. It's harder to justify every day that it goes by. It's harder and harder to justify a Paddy versus Ilia title shot, other than the fact that they're strapping the interim title on one of these people. A Justin title shot, I feel like, is crazy. A Justin title shot to me is absolutely
Even if he
insane.
holds the interim belt, you think it's crazy?
It has to be Arman Tsarukyan, man.
I don't.
It has to be Arman Tsarukyan.
I don't think that's what they're going to do.
He's reaching a level right now that he's a mainstream name.
Dude, you don't have to make the case to me.
It's crazy.
I was on the Armin Sarukian food videos, like Bitcoin at $1. I'm talking like I was in there in the comment section tweeting when he was eating Dave's hot chicken back in 2024. I've been on the ground floor of this, okay?
You were in a video before that saying, yo, you need to go eat Dave's hot chicken.
You do not have to tell me. I actually think I brought it to the attention of this program. I was like, why is he eating so much fucking Dave's hot chicken?
You 1,000% did.
Yes. I've been on the ground floor of this. You don't have to explain the Armin Sarukian thing to me. But I just don't think that's what the UFC is going to do.
I'm with you on that, but here's my counterpoint. The UFC is in the business of doing good business. They're in the business of making money. Paddy Pimblett and Ilia Topuria has a story, can sell. I don't really have much of an issue with that if you end up going that direction. 2 belts now.
Actually, I love that fight.
Even though I think
2022 hand sanitizer boy, they did the face-off at last International Fight Week. There's huge beef there, massive stars.
They're screaming at the press conferences. They stand up.
That's what I want.
It's built in. Paddy Pimblett's a big star. Paddy Pimblett is a big star, especially in Europe, especially internationally. You do that fight overseas, you have Ilia and Paddy somewhere close enough that European fans can travel. I mean, it's a no-brainer. The Justin one is harder for me to justify. Like, Justin's a very, very exciting fighter, but man, he really doesn't have a name value outside of MMA, right? Like, he is not a guy who has crossed over into the mainstream in the way that somebody like Paddy the Baddie, or now Armin Sarukian, who it seems like it has happened overnight, but
starting to, which is like hard to wrap my head around.
Well, when Ariel's kids are like, I saw Armin Sarukian on XYZ stream, that's a different level. They're not talking about Justin Gaethje. There's no Justin Gaethje conversation happening in the schoolyard.
UFC will just justify it with the interim belt.
I get they justify it, but is that the right move business-wise? If you're the UFC, are you fucking up? That's what I'm asking.
Well, I think they're fucking up with this not being Paddy Armin in the first place.
Fair point.
Like, Dan Hooker's fighting next week. You're telling me Armin Sarukian wasn't ready? Armin
point.
Sarukian was in here housing fucking 10, 15 stacks of pizzas. He could have been fighting this weekend. There's no doubt about it.
The trade-off has been, in the meantime, he became a global icon, so it actually kind of worked in his favor. All right, but so you're not wrong.
He's become a bit of a global icon, and like he really is starting to get like a massive following. I still think at the end of the day, especially once he fights this weekend and if he wins, I still think Paddy Pimblett is more of a draw to watch the actual fight.
Yeah, because of the heat between them. And
just like the whole Paddy the Baddie thing, he does the walkout, everyone wears the wigs, and like he's kind of been a known commodity for years and people have watched him fight.
I'm okay with either of those. Honestly, I'm okay with Justin Gaethje getting a shot too. I really don't have that strong an objection. I just think if you're tiering these out, it's Armin up here, Paddy somewhere here, and then Justin.
I'll lay it out for you. Lightweight, picture title, 2026.
Tell me.
Paddy wins on Saturday. Ilia Paddy, summer. Either White House or July pay-per-view. Winner of that faces Armin. MSG?
That could be fun.
All right, there it is. Who wins that? I don't know.
What happens when Justin Gaethje wins? White House.
Come back to me on Saturday evening. Yeah. Ilia, Justin, White House.
Can you justify doing Armin versus the winner of this fight while Ilia's out? In March, April sometime.
I think you would need a firm stance from Ilia that he is not returning anytime soon, and at that point, I think they would vacate the belt.
If he says, like, I'm going to come back in August, man, you just do Armin versus Justin right then.
Doing interim title defenses now. I think
it's a mess, man.
I think if Justin wins, you do Justin because obviously American. He's got the American
at the White House
in shorts. You do it at the White House against Ilia, champ. And then Armin still fights later.
I'd love to hear from Ilia. Like he said on Instagram or
said on
X
Twitter
when he's coming.
Someone
back.
asked him and he said, "Are you going to fight Armin next?" And he was like, "No, winner of Paddy Gaethje. When are you coming back?" And he's like, "June, July." So we're just going to trust him.
All right.
All right, let's go to the co-main event. Sean O'Malley taking on Song Yadong. Actually, we're not going to that. It's Paddy Pimblett Fight Week. We have to show love to him. I completely forgot. My favorite video, maybe of all time of any fighter. Paddy Pimblett's dog went to the bathroom on someone's driveway, and this is the video we got out of it.
Hello?
Hello, look, my dog's just had like a sloppy shit outside. I was just wondering if you got some water. I don't want to leave it outside your front park. It is.
I'm 5 minutes away from home. Don't worry, I'll clean it.
Just, like, you sure? I feel terrible. You know what I mean?
No, it's all right.
It's just had the proper sloppy shit and I can't even pick it up with a poo bag, know what I mean?
Don't worry, I'll clean it when I get in.
Thank you very much once again. I'm sorry about that. I hate doing stuff like that. That's why I knocked on.
Ta-da.
Ta-da.
One of the all-time videos ever. The sloppy shit. My dog took a sloppy shit. I can't clean it up. Like, he sounds like fat bastard from Austin Powers when he's doing it. I love it. Every time he fights, it always goes back on my timeline. It's an all-timer, dude.
As somebody who's had people have their sloppy dog shit outside my house, I'm a big fan of Patty Pimblett doing that. I am a very appreciative of Patty Pimblett going to that woman and trying to clean it up, because I've just had some nasty stuff happen outside my house and they leave it. They don't give a fuck.
I was going to say also respect to Patty Pimblett. That is like very kind of him to do that. But
good for him.
Just the way that like also her just
Are you
being like,
Patty the
is that Patty the Batty? Yeah, sorry, dog just took a sloppy shit.
It's just so I could if I was in that scenario, right, and I was Patty at that time and like I'm somebody of note and I'm like, you know, trying to just like clean this up and be on my way and not. And then she's like, hey, are you fucking Patty the Batty?
Also, knocked on the door. So he was hoping for like just like a, oh, yo, hey, or like rang the doorbell, whatever the Ring camera is. And he was hoping to just like, I'm so sorry. Can I just borrow some water real quick and then clean it up and be on his way? Instead, he gets the woman through the intercom and he's like, ay, Christ. And he's like, got to step up. He's like, yeah. And then she's like, oh, is that Patty the Batty? Just like, yeah, it's me.
So the resolution, though, was she was just like, it's all good, right? Like, she was just like, we'll take care of it.
Yeah, come on. Patty the Batty's dog takes a sloppy shit on your driveway. You're just going to let her, you'll clean it up.
I'll clean it up.
All right. Sorry to interrupt the co-main talk there, but had to get that one in. Sean O'Malley taking on Song Yadong. First time back for O'Malley since June of last year. His second loss to Murad Dvalishvili. I ask you, is this a must-win for Sean O'Malley?
No, absolutely not. There's no such thing as a must-win when you're somebody that is stylistically exciting, interesting outside of the cage, and like the favored son of the UFC, right? Like, I think it's much more likely that he's closer to a title shot than it being a must-win. And so, yeah, I don't think so. He could fight another bantamweight next and get back in the title picture. He could go to a featherweight. He could do a million other things. I just don't think this is do or die for him in any.
I don't think it's do or die, but like, you don't want to lose 3 in a row and really start slipping down the rankings. My biggest one, though, you don't want to miss the opportunity for a potential rematch with Petr Yan.
Yeah.
I feel like right now he just has this amazing opportunity to beat Song Yadong, get on the mic on Saturday and be like, Peter, I already beat you once, brother. We're going to have to run that thing back for the belt now. 5 rounds, cut a promo on Petr Yan, and he ends up somehow back in the title picture just like that because of opportunistic circumstances with Petr winning the belt.
I'm glad you said that. And my counterpoint to that is April 2022.
Okay.
Aljamain Sterling, split decision loss. October 2022, Sean O'Malley, split decision loss. March 2023, Merab Dvalishvili, unanimous decision loss. This is the run of Petr Yan, the now champion of the UFC. And if you are a guy like a Yan, if you are a guy like an O'Malley, it does not matter if you lose fights.
I like that.
You will always find a way back. And Jan's is even more improbable because the guy who he gets the title shot against is the most dominant win of all those. And so I just think the part that gives me pause, the part that gives me hesitation is how much Sean O'Malley talks about life after fighting and how happy Sean O'Malley is with life. Sean O'Malley is like on his compound, opening his gym, opening his coffee shop with Tim Welsh.
Pickleball dojo.
The pickleball dojo. Like, the guy has all the things in life that he wants. He's got the family. He's got the kids. Like, he has it. And so I start to worry about the motivation. I don't worry about the idea of, like, if Sean O'Malley goes on a skid, he can't get back. Because if he gets even one win, it starts right back up again. So I'm not concerned about that part of Sean O'Malley at all. Really at all. I am concerned about the other part, which is like, man, life's fucking good for Sean O'Malley. And he seems like, I know he's very like, He has the color hair. He's very flashy. He has fancy cars. He buys these things. But he seems much more like of a reclusive guy. He seems much more of a guy who's just like, I want to live on my farm and I don't want to like be involved in any of this stuff. I just want to like do my own thing. And so when you're that type of guy and you really don't want to be out in the public eye and doing all this stuff, I do wonder if it's just like, man, life is fucking good. I'm just going to stay here for a bit. Pop out and fight every once in a while.
I'm chilling. I've really capitalized on the hard work and effort that I've put in. I'm kind of Gucci now. The fight itself.
Yes.
I mentioned, 2 losses, winless since 2024. The Chito Vera, his last win. 2 losses coming against one of the best bantamweights, if not the best bantamweight of all time, in Radvashvili. And just stylistically, this feels like a reprieve.
100%.
He's not going to be dealing with the chain wrestling. I don't think Song is really going to go and make this a wrestle-heavy game plan. I think it's going to be a striking affair, and that's where Sean O'Malley shines. Uses the range, uses that size and length. Also, his just striking ability, lands big shots. I just imagine this is going to be a Sean O'Malley decision victory, like a clear, like 30-27 or like 29-28 on one judge's scorecard.
Yeah, we had Corey Sandhagen on the show yesterday, and I thought he broke it down as beautifully as you can. And it's the same thing I've been thinking, which is Song Yadong needs to close a distance against the guy who is the hardest to close the distance against in the entire division, and one of the best like range guys that we have. Sean O'Malley just puts volume on you from the furthest possible range. Like, he is outside the pocket, jab, 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 cross, leg kick, head kick. It's very hard to close the distance, even for like a Merab Dvalishvili. Song Yadong, I just don't think is going to be able to close that distance in any meaningful way and really hurt Sean.
Can crack too. Like, don't sleep on the power of Sean O'Malley as well. So, like, even if he's not putting Song Yadong out, like, he'll be landing shots that are going to inflict damage that will matter in the end.
The knee that he put on Marlon Vera kills people.
I was just going to say, that doesn't knock people out. I am actually, you guys would have attended my funeral in March of 2024 if I had eaten that knee.
Shout out to Cheeto.
Is Cheeto like the last, like absolutely God-tier chin that's still holding up?
Max got cracked.
Yeah, Max was up there.
Fuck. That was the one for a while. There's got to be a...
Cheeto's like, he just like eats shots. Like, have we ever seen that dude wobbled? Like, it's crazy.
It's funny. We only measure this by like guys we've never seen completely knocked out, because like Alex Pereira does have a God tier chin, but Izzy put him out. Max Holloway does have a God tier chin.
Yeah, they still have great chins, but like where it's just like, you cannot crack this guy.
It's hard.
Marvin Vettori's still holding up?
Yeah, I guess. I'd put Cheeto above that.
Yeah, Cheeto's chin, legendary.
I say all that to say though, Sean is definitely dangerous. I think there's a very real chance that he could finish the fight. It's probably not the most likely outcome. I think the most likely outcome is just he's frustrating Song all night and Song's just never able to close the distance. Now, granted, Song's going to have some chances to close the distance, right? He's going to leap in. He's going to really like aggressively try to close that distance. It's either going to work for or against him. If he closes that distance and lands something powerful, because like Sean O'Malley, I think Song has real power, real finishing capability, it's going to work for him or it's going to work against him. If he leaves himself vulnerable, I think Sean O'Malley's perfectly capable of something like a knee up the middle or even just a 1-2 that's like perfectly placed, and we've seen him do it many times. He's got those long arms, those nice levers. He hits somebody with that, it's really hard. So I think Song has to take risks, and it's either going to, like, if he plays Sean O'Malley's game, if this fight plays out to be Song Yadong is at range, Sean O'Malley is at range, and we're kickboxing, he has no chance in the fight. It's just not a possible route to victory. Sean O'Malley is a better striker, and he's longer. If Song Yadong takes chances and does try to close that distance very aggressively and hurt Sean O'Malley, I do think it's possible. I do think there's a real path to victory for him there. But in doing that, he also has to expose himself to getting finished by Sean O'Malley.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great fight. I think it's going to be exciting for the fans. But at the end of the day, I'm with you. I just think the range is going to be too much. I think the striking capability is going to be too much. And Sean O'Malley, whether it's by catching him or just putting a thorough beat down over the 15 minutes on him, I think he gets his hand raised, and we're talking about potential title shots.
If you're Song Yadong and you just come in like winging hooks, it will give Sean O'Malley something to think about, because Song has power, man, and it's not just like Sean O'Malley can't just dismiss that coming at him. It's going to be interesting. I'm curious what the game plan is going to be. But if the game plan is like we're going to kickbox, I really don't like it. I think it's a very favorable matchup for Sean O'Malley.
I'm looking forward to that one. Before we continue on the main card, just a quick detour here because Dana White is on the Pat McAfee show. Yeah. Breaking news. Yeah. Haven't even heard this yet. Just getting this from On Air Jordan. Dana White has responded to Justin Gaethje's comments. Here's what he had to say.
You said no more pay-per-view. Let's talk about that. Because Gaethje did come out
Obviously
and chit-chat about maybe the finances of the entire situation. Are you still trying to figure out how this all works in this non-pay-per-view world? Like, how do you kind of view the evolution of going from what you were to what is now? Because this feels like a big step for your company. Legitimately, Dana. It feels like a big step.
We completely have it dialed in. We got like really smart kids that came in and told, they can get down within single digits on how close it would be to pay them like it was a pay-per-view. And Gaethje, without getting into all that stuff, Gaethje was offered more money and Gaethje never responded.
Okay, so obviously there's behind the scenes of business deals. I hope you and Gaethje figure it out. But the main event of the first card, okay, good. On the main event of the first card on Paramount Plus in this new world, didn't love hearing that there was any type of potential drama, but you guys figuring it out, good news. We appreciate you getting into this new space because I think obviously it opens up to a lot more people to watch your sport.
Okay,
interesting.
Offered more money and he didn't respond.
Don't know what that means.
What, you just like sent him a text and he left you on red? He was like, yo, you want to get paid more money? And he just left you on red?
Yeah, I mean, more realistically, that text goes to Ali. But what does that text say exactly? I'm not understanding what that means.
How do you get offered more money and then you just don't respond?
Is it possible? It is a good point. My read on that, and again, this is just this is speculatory, but I'm sure something more will come out of this if somebody digs, is that they offered him more money for a fight that was not a title fight. They offered him a fight last year that was not and remember that ahead of this, Justin Gaethje had been sitting out saying, if I don't get a title fight, I'm retiring. That was his default stance. I imagine that he got offered money to fight somebody that was not a title fight. Like, I don't know, who could you offer somebody money to that they wouldn't really want to fight? Like, I don't know, let's say there's like a really good guy in the lightweight division, like Arman Tsarukyan, just for an example, who like is amazing. And somebody would say, hey, do you want to fight Arman Tsarukyan for more money, or do you want to wait out for this title shot that may or may never come? I could see a world where somebody goes, you know what, I actually want to do that. So my guess on that is Dana White saying, we offered somebody money. We offered Justin Gaethje more money to fight not for a title, and he turned it down. Because there's no other world where Justin Gaethje says no to more money.
Yes, there's no world where it's like, hey man, like we were going to pay you $800,000 for the Paddy Pimblett fight. We were thinking of upping it to 1.1 mil.
Yeah.
Justin Gaethje thumbs up emoji to your message.
Shout out EKC Len. And so that would literally be the only way that I could imagine what Dana White's saying to be true is offered for a fight, and he turned down that
Didn't
fight.
want to take it. Didn't even
for one reason or another.
Yep.
It doesn't really matter. The other part that's interesting to me is like Dana White stumbling over, like, we have these guys who can get down to it to the dollar, to single digits about like what they're going to make on pay-per-view. Great. Like, who are these guys? And are the fighters talking to them? Like, does anybody have any idea about what they're going to be paid on these pay-per-views?
Also, that, and then Pat being like, well, I hope you guys work it out. And he's like, we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
This was like 24 hours ago.
How do you know? Trust me, bro.
Yeah, like this was less than 24 hours ago. Like, how are we already good?
The idea that like we know how much you would have made on pay-per-view and we're going to pay you that is very open to meddling and like
you got it
UFC
down to the single digits. Is this the same people that did the social numbers for Slap and found it was the biggest sporting entity in the entire world? Bigger than Champions League, NFL, NBA, combined. MLB combined. Who was it? Andrew Schultz or something that was like immediately typed in just like Real Madrid, and they were like, no, Real Madrid has 100 million more followers than you guys.
I don't know, but that's very funny.
Like that. So we can get the pay-per-view numbers down to the dollar.
To the dollar. It's very worrisome, and the idea that like we have this number. We know what the number is. You got it. Like, what if I don't like that number?
It's like the
what,
tax man.
Yeah.
It's like you're doing your taxes on TurboTax. They know the number, and then you put in all your shit, and it's like, yeah, you're actually going to go XYZ. It's like, wait, I don't like that number.
I don't like that number.
I need to negotiate that.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Conor McGregor's already thinking that. Conor McGregor's already thinking, oh, you got these guys who do the number? Nah, bro. Like, we're gonna get in the room and we're gonna talk about what this number is.
So interesting stuff from there. He also said, reiterating on the McAfee show that Conor Chandler is not going to happen at the White House, but Conor is still in running for the card.
I didn't hear that one. Okay. So he's saying Conor. So wait a minute. We just had Michael Chandler on yesterday, and he was hopeful that he was fighting Conor McGregor at the White House.
Well, I'm just saying what Big DW had to say, man. Conor Chandler not going to happen at the White House, but Conor is still in running for the card.
So it's not. This week has been a roller coaster, man.
Yeah.
It was
to quote him, actually, he said
thank you, Jordan. Thank
about
you.
Conor and Chandler, that's not the fight we're going with.
Wow. For the White House. That's what he said.
That's what he said.
Fuck.
He said
Michael Chandler his
plans are for the weekend, 3/24, that's going to be a big night for them. Paramount Plus, everyone tune in as they promote it on ESPN. Sunday he's going to watch the Patriots go to the Super Bowl, which no one wants to see. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're going to lock it in. We're going to lock in, and we're going to plan out this White House card. Conor's still in the running.
I love it. It's like the when they elect a new pope, like everyone has to go into they're all going to go into the war room and lock each other in until the White House card is set.
The white smoke comes out. Conor McGregor versus
red, white, and blue smoke comes out of the top of the apex.
No red, white, and blue smoke because it's not Michael Chandler.
No, I know, but it's just for the White House. We've made our decision on the White House card.
No, but the smoke should be like the color, like it should represent who the fighter that Conor McGregor is going to fight.
Conor McGregor is going to fight. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it will be red, white, and blue. Maybe Nate Diaz or something.
Fuck, I love that. We started just all assuming Chandler versus Conor. Like this is like a week ago. We're like, all right, Conor versus Chandler at the White House. They're working toward it. 2 days later, it's like Jorge Masvidal versus Conor McGregor, and we're
Goofy
like,
shit.
All right, whatever. Then Dana goes, nah, I don't. That fight from Conor and Chandler's years old, and we're like, wait, okay, so it is Jorge versus Conor. Jorge says we're in the business of doing this. Dana White says, no, that's goofy shit.
Yep.
So it's like, oh, so it is Chandler and Conor. Duh.
Chandler says, plan A ain't over yet.
It's in.
Yeah, it is.
Dana
it's over.
says it's over.
We're not doing that shit.
What the fuck is going on?
Honestly, like, this is such heavy flashbacks to UFC 300. Speculation, and then, like, we're just going to get an announcement, and I can see it now. Everyone's going to be disappointed with the announcement, like, no matter what it is. This is what you guys came up with for the White House card?
If it's Conor, though, I think
Conor is the only saving grace. Conor or John
versus Alex?
Yeah. If it's anything but those, people will be disappointed.
I sat here last week and speculated, because we had the Complex interview with Dana had just come out, and then we go on air. And when he said the thing about Chandler and McGregor, my first speculation was that something has happened with Conor, right? Something has made Dana White lose confidence in the fact that Conor McGregor is going to fight on this card. And now we flash forward to this week. Him saying he's in the running is more coded language to me that makes me fear Conor McGregor's involvement in the White House card.
Yeah.
If Conor McGregor was like the number one option, we're counting on this for the White House card, he'd be like, it's going to be Conor versus somebody. Not, it's probably going to be Conor versus somebody. He's in the running. That's not the same thing. Those are not the same thing. And now maybe he's just hedging his bet after the backlash from John Jones versus Tom Aspinall, 10,000%. I'm selling my firstborn. Doesn't matter. Like that bullshit that he was saying and over again, and it didn't come to fruition. But I'm starting to worry about, like, are they having trouble with Conor McGregor? And need I remind you, we talked about it all show already. 2 days ago, Conor McGregor is like, yeah, we're going to have to work on a new contract because I need more money.
I feel confident they have something in the works that they are happy with, for the fact that he's like, nah, John Jones, no. Conor, Chandler, nah, man. Like, they have to have something, an idea that they're going to go with.
Is it Conor?
I don't know. I cannot say. I cannot say. It's been almost 5 years since this guy's fought. We've been teased so many times. People are tired of hearing about it. I have no idea.
I'm not liking the
You just can't speak with certainty surrounding Conor McGregor fighting.
Yeah, and that's what I'm feeling from Dana White. Whereas last year...
And I think Dana White knows that too.
Well, last year, Dana was like, Conor. It's Conor. It's going to be Conor. White House, Conor. Now, all of a sudden, it's in the running, Conor.
Yeah.
Chandler versus Conor? That's years old. Who the fuck cares about that bullshit? Like, this is weird out of Dana White.
Yeah, I agree. We're going to see. We're still about 4.5 months out. They're locking themselves in the war room. We'll await the white smoke steaming out of the warehouse.
Conor has an opponent.
The Metapex in the desert. Let's keep rolling on UFC 324. Waldo Cortez Acosta, Salsa Boy, continues his epic run. 6th fight since March of last year. 6th fight for Waldo Cortez Acosta, really trying to bring a fire back into the heavyweight division. He gets Derek Lewis, who seems to be looking pretty trim, 40 years old. It's Derek Lewis. Sign me up. I have to say, man, odds right now for this fight, Waldo Cortez Acosta, -330, Derek Lewis +270.
I like Lewis.
You know I'm in Salsa Boy Nation now.
Yeah, you're in.
I made a promise last year, and I deliver on my promises. He got the win against Goatsiev, and now we're here. -330 against Derek Lewis.
Yeah, it's not
one of the biggest power punchers in UFC history. I don't know. I think that Derek Lewis is live in this spot. Like, he seems to be trim. He's 3-1 in his last 4. Like, it isn't like he's like completely fallen off. Like, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility for him to spark Waldo Cortez Acosta.
What would completely falling off for Derek Lewis even look like? All he does is stand in the middle and throw bombs
forward, throw bombs, and either you're getting knocked out or he's getting knocked out, and we'll call it a day.
Derek Lewis could do this for 10 more years, just line somebody up and he's going to throw punches with them. Or they're going to take him down and it's over. And that's basically the Derek Lewis story.
And here's the thing. Waldo Cortez Acosta is not going to take him down.
No,
he's going to stand and trade for 15 minutes. And I know the last couple of fights that we saw, the Taliesin Teixeira fight, or for Waldo Cortez Acosta, the Shamil Gatziev fight and the Ante Delia fight, knocks them both out in the first round. Before that, he was getting 8 of the last 9, I think, were decisions.
Yeah.
So he's got to go 15 minutes with Derek Lewis. Now, granted, he's done it with Sergey Pavlovich back in Shanghai in August of last year, but ever since that Tom Aspinall fight, Pavlovich has been a little bit different. He's been a little bit more patient. He's been a little bit more tactical with his approach to the fight. Derek Lewis is not that.
And respectfully to Pavlovich, who has massive power, Derek Lewis's power is different. Derek Lewis's power is completely different. I think he talked about it on this show. I'm trying to remember if it was a previous iteration. Have you ever heard Curtis Blades talk about what happened when Derek Lewis hit him?
I don't think so, no.
The gap in memory was, I thought I was doing well. I woke up in the hospital.
Crazy.
Derek Lewis has and this always came up because people would ask Curtis Blades, you've been knocked the fuck out by Derek Lewis and Francis Ngannou. Who really? And he's always maintained...
How's your brain doing, man?
He's always maintained, people don't really hit like Derek Lewis. And if you watch the fights, it is true. Look, there's flaws in Derek Lewis's game. Nobody pretends that, Derek Lewis is an unbeatable fighter. But if you give Derek Lewis 15 minutes to try to separate you from your consciousness, it's going to be a bad night. And now, it doesn't always work, right? Some guys are able to beat Derek Lewis in that battle. Some guys are able to kind of dance around that. But if Derek Lewis clips you, it really, really goes wrong. Wake up in the hospital, I thought I was doing well, wrong. And so, I don't know, man. I would be a lot more confident if Waldo Cortez Acosta was a guy who had more of a well-rounded game and was much more reliant on takedowns and other parts of his game. The other thing is, if you're not a great grappler, I know it's a joke and a meme, but Derek Lewis can just get up because he's that strong. That is real. He is underneath you. He uses decent technique, not great technique, not amazing technique. He uses decent technique and gets himself up, and then he gives himself another opportunity to take your head off. I don't love Waldo Cortez Acosta at even odds. I definitely don't love him as a massive favorite.
He grappled against Robles de Spain. I don't think they're even on the same planet of get-up game, Robles de Spain and Derek Lewis.
He is much more raw than Derek Lewis is.
throughout his career, decision against Vandera, decision against Chase Sherman, decision against Marcus Rogerio de Lima, Andrei Arlovsky, Robles de Spain, Sergey Spivak, Sergey Pavlovich. He's got 5 KOs in his UFC career. Yeah, I think this fight goes longer if it's Waldo Cortez Acosta having success, and it's just a dangerous game to play. I think Derek Lewis is a live dog. Like, am I running to the bank to like hammer that? No, but like, I'm just seeing everyone just sharpieing in Waldo Cortez Acosta for the dub here.
Yeah, that feels off.
This just feels like a fight that Derek Lewis could absolutely catch him in.
You're kind of banking on like Derek Lewis is going to land that KO punch. And as I said, it doesn't always come, right?
Of course not.
But if you give him 15 minutes, that's much more of a chance than if he's up against some of these other guys who can clinch him up against the cage, mix in the takedowns, do enough dancing on the feet. Waldo is great. Like, Waldo is somebody with good footwork. He moves around quite a bit, but he gets hit. And if Derek Lewis hits you, it's different. So I like Derek Lewis even like outright. Forget the dog odds, which I think are great. I like Derek Lewis
I'm taking him by
outright in this fight.
plus 380 for the KO.
Yeah, it makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah, it's going to be a very exciting fight in my opinion, just because there is the potential there. But yeah, you know, Waldo Cortez gets the 2 knockouts. He's experiencing the most fame he's ever felt. Like, his confidence has to be sky high. He's going to give a striking battle to a dude that can knock you out at any moment. There is always the worry.
It's a fear. On the other side of the coin, there's a world where Waldo Cortez Acosta does just dance around him, peppers him on the feet, and Derek Lewis can't land that punch.
No.
This would be a massive win for him.
Dude.
His career right now is on a bullet train. Like, he is fast tracking himself to a title shot in a division that has nobody else in front of him. Like, this is absolutely abysmal division. I don't think I'd fight again if I was him, if I beat Derek Lewis. I think I'd hold out for a title opportunity.
Bro, this would be his 3rd fight since the Spivak fight. Or, I mean, since the Pavlovich fight. Pavlovich has not fought since.
Yeah.
then. By winning that fight, Pavlovich sort of jumped Waldo Cortez Acosta. Waldo Cortez Acosta, by winning 3 fights since, if he wins on Saturday, will have just jumped Pavlovich back because of activity.
Crazy.
And like, who's in front of him? Bro, like, you're talking about Curtis Blades, Volkov, Gane, and Pavlovich. That's all there is in front of him.
It's wide open.
Tom Aspinall. It's going to be crazy.
And then, you know, pencil in Gable Steveson after he makes his debut at the White House in June.
Shout out to Big 52. Shout out to Cortez. Dominican Summer League Reds.
It's a good fight. It's an interesting fight, but I don't think it does Waldo any favors. I think it's a tough matchup.
Unless he wins. Unless he wins and he does it in, you know, if in emphatic fashion, if he's able to get the knockout, it'll be great. Let's keep rolling. Natalia Silva taking on Rose Namajunas. Another fantastic fight at the top of the flyweight division. My question is, does the winner of this automatically get a title shot?
Probably.
I'm thinking yes. You heard Rose Namajunas talking this week. You know, she said to Ariel, I'm going to get a title shot if I win this fight. She said at Media Day, I'm unique. I move on unlike any female that's in the UFC. And she believes, you know, with a win over Natalia Silva. Now, Rose Namajunas, a little bit less justified than Natalia Silva just from like a meritocracy standpoint. She would be 3-2 in her last 5, number 6 in this one, and does have losses to Manon Fiorot and Erin Blanchfield. Natalia Silva, obviously, 7-0 in the UFC. This would make it 8, and she's already number 2, 14 in a row for her career. Plus, she feels like she's next in line.
Yeah. I as you said, I think it's a lot more justifiable for Natalia Silva, but at the same time, Valentina Shevchenko has really churned through all the contenders, including the fact that the strawweight champion came up to fight her. Rose Namajunas is a big name. It makes all the sense in the world. There's also a storyline built in. They were past training partners. They have a lot of respect for each other. It'd be a great martial arts contest. I don't think Rose is going to win. I'm with Natalia Silva. I've been impressed from her as soon as she got into the UFC. You really just don't see competitors like her. The volume that she puts up is very unique in the weight class and in any of the women's divisions. She is in constant motion. She is always giving you something to offset your game and make you not be able to be comfortable and settle in. It's a very hard style to deal with. It's almost like Marabi in a sense, where it's like you're so busy like worrying about what she's doing. You're so busy trying to avoid getting peppered by those strikes that you can't really get off your own game. And she stifled some of the best fighters in the division already. I believe in Natalia Silva at this point. I think Rose is the peak of Rose was not right. Like it was a few years ago. And so I feel like Natalia is getting her at the right time.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, the movement alone is just like enough to tire you out just watching it. But like the volume, like you said, she's number 1 in striking differential in UFC women's flyweight history. 2.58 more significant strikes every minute for Natalia Silva. I also think she's just a more competitive matchup for Valentina. Like say Rose were able to win this and she got matched up with Valentina. I don't love that matchup for Rose, just the physicality of Valentina and this not being Rose's natural weight class. And Valentina has been all the way up to 135 before. I like Natalia Silva's odds more, and I do agree with you. I think she gets it done here. She's outstruck every one of her opponents like thoroughly.
It's a very, very difficult style. The way you obviously thwart it is you have to stop her, right? You have to give her something back that's going to stop her in her tracks. I think we've seen Rose be capable of that, right?
For sure.
Like Rose's finishing ability is there, and so I think it will be interesting if she can find that. If it plays out as just to be like a kickboxing match, and Rose has brought in Taekwondo fighters to like train with and be prepared for the style. If it turns into just a striking match like that, man, it's hard to imagine somebody doing it better than Natalia Silva.
Viviana Araujo went 1 of 9 on takedowns against Natalia Silva, but she was still able to rack up 6 minutes of control time. So like maybe if Rose is able to get her to the ground and just like rack up control time to maybe have success, but I don't know if she's going to even be able to get her to the mat.
Big. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be that easy to get her.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. It's like this main card is great. I'm bummed that we lost Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunes. That was the cherry on top, and we didn't get any sort of replacement for it. But this is still a very solid main card and a great welcome back for the UFC. The last fight we'll talk about on the main card, the first one that you will see, is Arnold Allen versus Jean Silva. Oh man! First of all, happy birthday to the Almighty. We actually, because of his birthday, we actually have this clip right here to play about how he's going to handle eating on his birthday during fight week.
It's the first time in nearly 20 years of fighting that I'm actually going to be cutting weight on my birthday. So that's kind of shit. But when I'm in camp or like fight week, I become a little bit of a food cuck. So I'll sit in a nice little chair in the corner. I'll buy a cake for my team and I'm going to watch them boys eat it. And I'm going to love every minute of it.
Well, Arnold, happy birthday to you, brother.
Happy birthday, Arnold.
We got some cake right here just for you. It is actually today, Thursday, January 22nd. So if you're tuning in, Arnold, we're doing this for you, man.
Enjoy that corner.
And come on, man, we got a seat right here. You can sit in the corner and watch us. This cake is great, by the way. Shout out. Happy birthday to Arnold Allen.
Happy birthday.
Good cake. I know Frankie's thrilled with the audio right now.
What a segment.
Woo! That's good cake. Happy birthday to Arnold Allen. The fight itself. I'm a diehard Arnold Allen fan. Like, he's just the greatest. The Tesco, the always going to the bathroom in public, food cuck. Oscar Willis asked him about his cat this week, and he called him a boy instead of a girl, and he was like, "You disrespectful piece of shit." Like, he's such like a dry Brit, but he has such a good sense of humor. Love Arnold Allen. We don't get to see him fight often. This is the first time we've seen him since UFC 304.
Yeah.
Like, everyone was talking about, when are we going to see Tom? When are we going to see Tom? That was the last time we saw Arnold Allen. Love him. Diehard fan. We'll be cheering for him thoroughly this weekend. Man, it's a tough matchup against Jean Silva. I fear for his chances of winning just because of Jean Silva's just like overly aggressive style, high volume, heavy power, which is just not Arnold Allen's game. Arnold Allen is much more tactical, patient. It doesn't put out a ton of volume. He's super tough. He's never been finished, which I think he's going to need in this fight. But like, man, like the breakneck pace, and maybe it was just because he was fighting Diego Lopez, but like the pace that those two guys were putting on, I don't love Arnold Allen's chances in a fight like that.
It's a fair point. Here's my devil's advocate questions about that. I'm not going to necessarily sell you on Arnold, but I wonder about Jean Silva. One, do we think John Silva learned a lesson from that Diego fight, which is to be more methodical, right?
Maybe.
And I was, as you were saying that, like the breakneck pace, I was actually thinking about the Bryce Mitchell win, and he was slow. He was very methodical in that one. It was almost like we were like waiting for him to kill Bryce Mitchell. It was like a bloodletting, as Pizzi said when he was talking about the submission. There was a point where I was like, man, it feels like John Silva could just rush and finish Bryce Mitchell whenever he wanted. And he actually kind of like slow cooked it and then broke him down and then had that incredible ninja choke. I don't know. I wonder what his approach is going to be, because we've seen both. And that's the interesting thing to me. I wonder if he takes away like, shit, I got too aggressive in that one against Diego. Now, Diego's a different kind of cat, right? Like Diego's not the type of guy. Diego and Arnold Allen are not similar in many ways. Diego is also a Tasmanian devil. He's also a whirlwind. He is going to come aggressively. And so when John Silva's game plan was, let me fight fire with fire, it makes sense to me. Like that's probably what you do. And it looked good for a minute there. So I wonder what his approach is going to be against Arnold Allen, because I think he can play both games, which is like credit to John Silva. I think he's capable of multiple different approaches and tactics. I'm curious which one he's going to use. I kind of do feel like Arnold is being overlooked a little bit here, because of what we've seen from John Silva recently, the activity level versus not seeing Arnold for so long. You look at the losses for Arnold Allen in the UFC. He had one loss prior to the UFC. I don't know much about it. I haven't crunched the tape. But the Max Holloway loss, he was in a punch-for-punch firefight with Max Holloway and doing pretty fucking good, which is like, there's not a lot of guys on this planet that you can say, I was trying to go punch for punch with Max Holloway and did damn good. Like there's like there's very few guys that can say they lasted the 5 rounds with Max Holloway and they were keeping up with him pace wise. That's a credit to Arnold Allen, and I think an impressive performance out of him. And then it's Movsar Evloev, who he gave a hell of a tough fight against him too. I know both of these are unanimous decision losses, but like, he didn't just roll over for Movsar Evloev, who I think might be the future champion of this division. So it makes me, and then he came out and pretty much beat up Giga Chikadze. That was the last fight. I think Arnold is a pretty live dog here against John Silva. I like Arnold in this fight.
I love to hear it. I mean, the way he wins is to keep the pace with John Silva.
Survive the storm.
I was going to say, rely on that toughness and survive the storm. Do damage to John Silva. Man, John Silva's nice on the mat. Like Arnold Allen could maybe go to some wrestling. Yeah, I mean, it's just about keeping pace and relying on your chin to hold up against John Silva's power.
I'll say the other thing. He's got a great team. They probably will have a great game plan.
He's going to be ready for a scrap. I know that with Arnold Allen. He's always ready for a scrap. And I'm going to be cheering hard for him.
And the other side, Fighting Nerds, they've got a great team and always have a good game plan. This is a really fascinating fight on the card. I'm really excited about it.
It's a sick fight because if Arnold Allen's able to get a win here in January, we don't see him fight that often. That's the most difficult part, being an Arnold Allen fan. If he can get a win here in January and set up a big 2026, I like the future for Arnold Allen, especially if he can get a massive win over John Silva.
Yeah, I think this would be a nice way to like re-announce yourself if you're Arnold Allen. I think this, like, I've been picking a lot of dogs like on this card. He's another one. I like him outright. I like Arnold Allen in this fight.
We will see John Silva, known to be an emotional figure. He was doing some sort of production for Paramount Plus, and they captured this picture. Just seeing the UFC belt, getting to hold it, had John Silva choking up.
Yeah, I got shit on because one time I said John Silva cries a lot when we were on this show.
He cries
a lot. He actually cries a lot.
He admits that he cries a lot.
Yeah, he cries a lot.
No shame in the game.
Well, no shame in the game. It speaks to his passion. Like, he is I'd
rather this than the opposite.
Exactly.
Being like, I don't give a
although
fuck
actually the opposite is funny too. The like Arnold Allen like can't be bothered about anything kind of demeanor is actually pretty funny too. So contrasting styles, contrasting personalities. It's going to be a fascinating fight. I really like this one a lot.
Let's go to the prelims, the featured bout of the evening. This one could have been on the main card too. Umar Nurmagomedov taking on Davison Figueiredo, the biggest favorite on the entire card, and is going to go down as one of the biggest favorites of the entire year, is a guy against a former champion, Umar Nurmagomedov, minus 1,500. I did the math on it. His average line throughout his career, this according to Tapology, minus 858.
That is nuts. That's actually nuts.
Has never closed as an underdog. The smallest favorite he has ever been was against Murad Dvalishvili, and he was like a minus 280.
Do you know the implied odds of that?
Of minus 858?
Yeah,
I
can you look that up?
now. Also, this is a fight where he's minus 1,500, and the fight to go to a decision is minus 150. So it's just like, yeah, it's probably
Umar by decision.
Yeah, it's probably not gonna be a Davison win, and it's probably not going to go to a decision. So it's just going to be Umar by decision. 89.56%.
90% of the time, Umar wins the fight. That is nuts.
That's what the odds think.
That's nuts.
That's what Vegas says about his entire UFC career.
If you win 90% of your fights, you're a pretty damn good fighter. That means you win 9 in a row and you lose the 10th. Like that's.
Do you feel otherwise for this bout?
I don't.
I don't either.
It's one of those lines that I look at and I'm like, there's no chance in hell I would even touch this line. There's no upside. Of course, I expect Umar to win, but like, what is the value of that? But at the same time, not enough to be like, man, that's really disrespectful to Davison Figueiredo. Like, I don't think stylistically he has much of a shot here.
It's a little disrespectful to
Is it?
Minus 1,500?
Take it then. I dare you.
Minus 1,500 is like Bo Nickel against, like, who'd he fight? Val Woodburn. Like, that's like minus 1,500.
Prove to me that this line is disrespectful and put a bet on Davison Figueiredo.
What can I get him at right now? Plus 850.
I want you to do
I can get him as high as plus 950. What's $10 on Davison Figueiredo?
All right, let's do it.
Right? Like, what's
I want to see it.
$10? Davison Figueiredo inside the distance.
I'll tell you what it is. It's $10 lit on fire.
Davison Figueiredo inside the distance is plus 1,800.
You might as well take that one, though.
Yeah, because he probably won't win a decision.
He'll knock him out if he does it.
Probably won't win a decision. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it's just rinse and repeat. Like, I think it's just like he's just going to take him down. I think he's live for a finish, dude. I think
Umar is.
Yeah. I think he could submit him, like, at some point on the mat. And if not, I think it's probably just a dominant decision win.
If you can't stop Umar from taking you down, and nobody really can, you're in trouble. Like, that's the reality of this fight game. The one guy who's been able to thwart it is Murad Dvalishvili. He benefited from two things. One, he's just as good a wrestler. 3 things. 2, insane cardio. And 3, Umar broke his freaking hands. Like, it's very hard. You have to stack up a lot of different things to stop Umar Nurmagomedov. I don't think Davison Figueiredo has those things on his side.
Yeah. I think this is probably going to be an Umar win. And at that point, like, that top of 135 is getting a little crowded. If Sean O'Malley and Umar Nurmagomedov win, you have 3 rightful candidates for the 135 title in Merab, Sean, and Umar.
I think you do, Sean. But you're right. Those are... nobody be mad at any of those 3.
Sean, Jan, Merab, Umar rematch.
I like it.
It's doing Merab a little bit dirty, but I'm cool with
That's been Merab's thing.
I know.
He's been done dirty, and he came out on top.
Yeah. All right, let's roll along to... Oh, shit. What's up, Ariel?
What's up, guys? How are you?
Not much, man. Didn't know this was coming. Was I not checking Slack?
Hit the breaking news music.
I wasn't checking Slack. What's good, brother? This is...
No, I'm listening to the show.
Oh, shit. I didn't
I'm
see
locked
any
in.
of this in the Slack.
You're locked in as well. You shouldn't be looking at Slack. Of course, there are ways to communicate with you, I think, because you're wearing headphones. But that is neither here nor there. I'm listening to you guys. You're doing a great, great job. And I'm not trying to crash the party for the 2nd straight week. But at the same time, I am seeing some stuff pertaining to 324. And I know it was addressed a little bit. But I feel like I have to get a few things off my chest.
Get them off, man.
I apologize. I'm sitting here. I'm doing my Thursday thing. I'm listening to you guys. You're doing a great job breaking down the fights. Shout out to Arnold Allen. I do think, I'm not trying to call you out, but I do think recycled cake for Arnold?
No. This is a fresh cake.
We bought this for Arnold.
Yeah.
Okay, I was
it's
wondering.
delicious. Right.
Who's to check?
No, I'm just saying. I had it.
Yeah,
on
so you had a
Tuesday.
burn. You something was
Felt
burning
a
you. What
little
was that
funny.
thing that you were?
The cake was. No, I'm kidding. All right, so Dana White was on the Pat McAfee show, and I just want to talk about these 2 things that everyone's talking about now, right? The first one is the Justin Gaethje thing. First of all, I give Justin Gaethje a lot of credit for sitting up there at a UFC press conference, at a UFC media day, and speaking about this. Because earlier in the week, on that TMZ interview, Dana White's talking about, hey man, this guy is the man. 14 bonuses. He's the freaking man. The interviewer is loving it. Everyone's loving the bonuses. And there's Justin saying, yeah, the bonuses have been great, but I haven't even equaled $1 million as far as bonuses alone. Not talking about his fighter pay, bonuses alone. If my math is correct, 50K times 14, just like rough back of napkin math, that's around, I don't know, what is that, 700K or so?
Yeah, but
50%.
Didn't he get like extra? Wasn't one of them 300 or something?
Whatever the case is, I'm just saying it's kind of wild, right? It's kind of wild. Even if the baseline is 700, I'm not going through all the events, but yes. All right, so I give him a lot of credit for doing that. Now, he's sitting up there for a UFC pay-per-view or a UFC PLE or numbered event, getting ready to fight in an interim title fight, which I think universally a lot of people thought he didn't deserve. So I could see, some people pushing back and being like, man, hey, just be happy. Just be happy that you're getting this opportunity, right? Another shot to become a UFC champion, interim or not. I can also see some people saying, hey, look, you have a contract, right? And so just because the UFC has signed this Paramount Plus deal, it doesn't mean that your contract terms change. The bonuses may change. The rising tide may lift all boats from here on out every time you negotiate a deal, but the contract that you signed 2 years ago doesn't necessarily change, right? And so you'll have people like DC who he mentioned come out and be like, this is going to be great for everyone. You'll have people like Ali Abdelaziz's manager who will come out, this is going to be great for everyone. But here's Justin Gaethje saying like, yeah, how is it going to be great for me? Maybe on Saturday he'll find out that the bonuses are 100K. No one has asked that question yet. Maybe they ask it at today's press conference. But bottom line is I give him credit for bringing this up because this is the harsh reality. Here's a guy who's one of the greatest fighters in UFC history who's reaching the end of his career, the end of the road, and he's looking around and he's saying, I don't have much to show for. I don't have much to show for the great career and the great fights that I produced for this company. And so what happens? Dana White goes on the Pat McAfee show, and his response to this is, we offered him something and he never responded. And so what I would like to know today, and there's a press conference coming up later today. I will not be in attendance at the press conference, but there will be a lot of great people who are. And so I would like to know, because Pat, to the best of my knowledge, didn't ask these follow-ups. Number one, is that true? Justin Gaethje, is that true? Were you offered a contract? And is it true that you did not respond? And if it is in fact true that you did not respond, why not? Why didn't you respond? If the answer to the first question is, I never received anything, well, then we have to go to Ali Abdelaziz, and we know he loves doing media, and ask him, did you receive a contract offer? And if the answer to that is yes, why didn't you extend that offer to your client? And if the answer to that is no, well, then someone is clearly lying here. But this isn't just the same as like a fight booking that we're talking about later. One guy came out 24 hours ago, a headliner, and said, my pay didn't go up. Dana White 24 hours later says, no, we did offer you a new deal and you didn't respond? Not you didn't negotiate well, you left money on the table, you did not respond to our offer. If that's true, if they did in fact do that, I'm not calling anyone a liar now because we don't know the full story, then this is a massive blunder on the part of Gaethje and his management. I have a hard time believing right here and now that Gaethje got an offer and just never wrote back, never responded. And so my next candidate in this sort of timeline of events is, well, why didn't the management offer that? But that's just a wild statement to make when you have a headliner who's clearly upset, a guy who doesn't usually negotiate publicly like this, come out and say, what are you guys talking about? Nothing's gone up here. My pay hasn't gone up. And again, I remind you all that when the NBA's last TV deal went up, the salary cap went up so high, 50-50 salary cap between the players and the owners. It went up so high that the Golden State Warriors were able to sign someone like Kevin Durant in 2016. That's how high it went. They were able to afford a guy like Kevin Durant after coming off a 73-9 season. UFC Paramount Plus, yes, absolutely. UFC on Paramount Plus deal gets signed. The fighters don't say anything. So I don't necessarily feel bad for them in the sense that like, yo guys, it's too late now. What did we say on the show in August? This is the time to speak up. This is the time to all collectively come together and be like, nah, I mean, like 7.7, what cut are we getting? How is this actually going to help us? Dana White says, we're going to figure it out. He said to Pat McAfee, we got a lot of smart people in the room, a lot of smart kids, and they all figured it out. What is it? In every other sport, this stuff is negotiated to the penny. And at some point, probably not in our lifetime, the fighters will come to realize that they are being treated like pro athletes in the major leagues, and yet they get zero benefits like the pro athletes in the major leagues. It's wild to me. They are now among the greatest sports franchises and leagues in America as far as rights deals are concerned, and they get zero the rights. They get zero revenue sharing. They get zero collective bargaining, no seat at the table. And now it's hitting them because so much is being made of the 7.7. Now it's hitting them like, wait a second, nothing's changed? In all the other sports it changes. Why hasn't it changed here? And miss me with the bonuses going up. Who cares? Only, 4 people get bonuses on a card. Who cares? Everyone else should change. Show win, the base pay, all that stuff and more. So this is a massive, massive deal, in my opinion, and I can't wait to see if it's addressed at the press conference. I'm sure it's going to be dismissed if it's brought up to Dana White, but I want to hear from Justin. I want to hear from his manager who loves to do media. What happened here? Did you guys not listen to this? Did you not pay attention? Did you miss it? Did the email go to your junk, folder? What the hell happened? Okay, that's item number 1. Item number 2 is
before we move on from that one, I have a few questions for you on that one.
Sorry. I'm far. I can't believe this.
Okay.
Yes.
To your knowledge, have you spoken to anybody who has an understanding of what the plan is for fighters who are champions who would previously have gotten pay-per-view but are now unsure of what's to happen? Has anybody?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I've spoken to them. I asked one champion on the show last week. Did you see his response?
No, I'm saying, have you spoken to anybody who knows what is happening?
No. Alex Volkanovski was being 100% honest with us. This is all very loosey-goosey, wait and see, negotiate on the fly. And by the way, I know of fighters who have signed bout agreements 24 hours before their fights. The UFC could rip up their contract tonight. There is no rule that says otherwise. These contracts, I've always said this, 6-fight deal, 8-fight deal, it means nothing. You come off a loss, rip it up, we're on to the next. 1 million guys have done this. Obviously not 1 million, but you get my point. They could come to Gaethje's room tonight and be like, our bad.
Yeah.
Someone didn't send it to you, our bad, your manager dropped the ball, whatever it is, here's a new deal. Like, there's nothing stopping them. There's no, moratorium. There's no trade deadline. There's none of these rules like the NFL. Golly, the Bills can't, interview a coach that's now being played in the NFC, AFC. Like, there's all these rules, right? There's all these regulations. There's none of that in this sport. They could change it an hour before the fight. They could change it 10 seconds before the fight. And so maybe they will do that now that he spoke up. Maybe they will do that. But I have talked to plenty of people who are like, if you have a deal already, they are not under any sort of pressure to change it as a result of this Paramount Plus deal. And everyone should have known that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because they signed this deal, they were going to come back to all the fighters and be like, all right, sir, you have 4 fights left on your deal, but because of this, we want to... No, from here on out, it may change once deals are up and once people are getting signed. But at some point, I just wonder if the fighters and their representatives will realize that you are being treated like major league athletes. However, you get none of the benefits that those major league athletes get. You are on the same level as far as rights deals and sponsorship and all that stuff, and you're getting 0% of it. Mind-boggling.
But Dana said they were good.
Yeah, Dana said they're good.
They're good. Everyone's good. They brought some smart kids from some Ivy League school. They crunched the numbers. They got it down to single digits. It's all good. And it's wild to me. I mean, look, it's wild to me, man. Like, you're seeing these interviews, and I'm sorry if I come across as, passionate. I'm sure someone will be like, well, you had your chance. You could have interviewed him. Yeah, it's just wild, man. Like, we're all smart people. We all watch other sports. And you can't just sit here and listen to all of this and be like, yep, okay, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, we're seeing what happens to the guys of yesteryear, what life is like in their 50s. We're seeing what happens. And these guys are in their prime, and they're doing nothing about it. And so let's talk about someone now who is the companiest of all company men. I know that's not a real word, but you get what I'm saying. Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler will never negotiate publicly. He'll never complain publicly. He'll never, as Chandler likes to say, point the gun at the company. I want to remind you that in the winter of 2023, he agreed to be a coach alongside Conor McGregor on The Ultimate Fighter. That show began to air in the spring of 2023. We're talking 3 years ago now. It took almost a full year, more than a year, for the fight to be made, and then, of course, to be scheduled for June of 2024. They were going to fight T-Mobile Arena. Conor McGregor gets hurt just a couple of weeks before. The fight gets canceled. This guy never complained. This guy never criticized. This guy never threw, what is that term that PT likes to say? The pram out of the crib. You know what I'm talking about. The baby out with the bathwater. He did none of that. All he did was be the ultimate company man and say, I'm going to be patient. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. And now the way in which Dana White is talking about this fight and this life-changing opportunity, because Michael Chandler makes more money when he fights Conor McGregor. That's part of the reason why he's been so patient. I'd say that's a massive reason why he's been so patient. And it's like, nah, man, that's old news. And no disrespect to Michael Chandler, he says, love the guy. We don't have enough time in this show to talk about him. That's what he said to Pat McAfee. Love the guy. But yeah, we're doing something else. And right now the plan is, as he says, the plan is for Conor McGregor to be on the card, but no, we're going to do something else that's kind of old. What? What are you talking about? Conor hasn't fought anyone since then. If anyone deserves this, it's this guy. This guy who is the ultimate company man, who has done everything that they've asked of him and then some, and has continued to promote this fight on Raw, on other places. He never, even as recently as yesterday, he never turns it on them. He never criticizes them. He never says that, like, they screwed me. And now this? And so shout out to Andrew Feldman, our good friend, who said perhaps this is Dana's way of responding to Conor, who said earlier in the week, I need to change my contract. The terms have changed. And so he doesn't want to say yes or no to anyone, and he's leaving everyone in limbo. I hope and pray that that is the case, because this would be a travesty. This would be a true travesty. Look, I'll be happy for any fighter who gets that payday, that gets that lottery ticket. But you cannot tell me, I don't care how you feel about Chandler. I don't care how you feel about his beliefs, the way he fights, whatever. That guy deserves it more than anyone. And the way in which his career is just kind of being dismissed, the ultimate company guy, is appalling to me. It really is.
And so it's unfortunate if you're Michael Chandler, right? We had him on the show yesterday, feeling like he is in the pole position again to be able to, after Dana White called the Jorge Masvidal conversation goofy, to fight Conor McGregor. Now we sit here a day later and it feels like it's not going to happen. What would you expect the plan to be for Conor McGregor?
Look, I think they're going to talk in February, as Conor said, and I wouldn't be surprised if Gaethje Patty winner is at play. I wouldn't be surprised if I think the Max fight is a little bit late, but they're going to pull, some kind of rabbit out of their hat here. And as we've all said, Conor versus a broomstick is big enough. Give him Michael Chandler. I don't even, you know what? I don't even want to speculate on anyone else because I feel dirty doing that. It has to be Michael Chandler. The next time Conor McGregor competes in a cage, if he ever competes, and I do think he is sincere in his belief that he wants to be on that card, it has to be against Chandler. You can't tell me that, and I see a lot of people talking about Nate Diaz. It ain't Nate. They're not talking. Now, that could change on Monday. He keeps talking about it. But right now, Nate Diaz is not being re-signed. You know why? Because they hold a grudge against Nate for walking out on them too. So I know people are holding out hope on that one and would be a great story, but no one has done more to earn this and deserve this than Michael Chandler, in my opinion.
All right, let me combine the two conversations then, right? The first conversation about fighter pay and having nobody having a clear understanding of what that compensation is going to be in addition to the pay-per-view. A few days ago, we had Conor McGregor come out and say, my contract is null and void, right? If I'm a guy who has been banking on coming onto UFC cards, headlining UFC cards, making pay-per-view dollars, and that's how I make my bread and counting on that, no longer being able to receive that benefit because pay-per-views no longer exist, is there a chance that maybe some of Dana White's hesitancy and saying, the Conor McGregor's in the running as opposed to saying Conor McGregor's our tapped headliner, is the fact that they may not be able to come to terms with Conor McGregor on what compensation looks like in this post-pay-per-view era?
Oh, it's 100% a chance, right? There is a chance, of course, and then no one's getting that Conor McGregor fight. But my only point is, I hope that this is some kind of smokescreen to not get everyone too riled up. Look at all the people that he's around. Look who he's talked to. They're going to try to do their darndest to get Conor on. And Dana hasn't been asked about this to the best of my knowledge. And so maybe this is his way of not throwing Conor under the bus or creating some sort of rift. I don't know. But I just don't get the dismissal of Chandler's involvement in all of this. I just don't. There's no other fight that makes more sense. Conor's not fighting for the 170-pound belt. Of course he can. They could do whatever the hell they want. They could have him fight for the BMF. They could have him fight for the interim BMF. They could have him fight for the the IRF or whatever the hell you want to call it, make up a name. It should be against Michael Chandler. It just should. The guy's been waiting for 3 years for this fight. Conor hasn't fought in that time. It's disheartening because Chandler has done everything right and he's the ultimate company man. I mean, the guy, like, again, people don't like him because he's a company man. People take shots at him because he's kind of like, Mr. Positive all the time and saying all the right things. And so if I'm a fighter out there, I'm like, golly, if this guy doesn't get it, it just shows ultimately, like, it's a ruthless sport, man. It's a ruthless game. And no one said otherwise about the fight game. It's ruthless. And once you know how the sausage is made, and I come from a position of talking to these people on a daily basis and knowing what life is like post-fighting, it's wild. It's wild, man. And what a time seeing all these three sports come together under this ideology with the Zuffa boxing debut, the wrestling stuff as well. You've got Max Kellerman out there taking screenshots of one guy saying he liked the salads at the cafeteria and everything's so much better here. Like, what? This is wild. It's not the way it should be, because everything about all of this screams major leagues. Everything about all of this screams creme de la creme, the absolute best in class, because it is, production-wise, everything, best in class, except for the cut that the fighters get. And I dare anyone to tell me that I'm wrong. I dare anyone. There's multiple class action lawsuits that confirm that I am right. And everyone was just naive enough to think that, oh yeah, my pay's going to go up, everything's going to be okay. Guess what? Wrong. Again.
Were you saying it's not the way it should be? That was the biggest thing that I took away from Justin Gaethje when he was just like, this isn't right. This is not right. Those are powerful words to say about how much you're getting paid.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, that takes balls, by the way, to say that.
For sure.
It's not a media day. It's not like an interview like this, or that takes a lot of balls. And even the question wasn't even about that, right? The question was like, what, if anything, have you done with the money?
Did you go get a sports car with your bonuses?
Yeah. And then he goes like in this other direction, which shows you the frustration, right? And this is a guy, by the way, who's managed by the guy that everyone likes to say is like, manager number one to the UFC. But let's be very clear. He's manager number one to the UFC when the UFC wants him to be manager number one. They don't respect that relationship. That relationship is very transactional. And so I've never believed that anyone who is managed by Dominance MMA gets greater sort of placement on cards. It's just that he makes it a lot easier for business to get done, if you get what I'm saying. That's it. He makes it a lot easier. And so here you see, if in fact they offered Justin Gaethje a raise, and for whatever reason that offer never came to Justin Gaethje, case dismissed.
When we were first talking about this, I speculated on the fact, is it possible that Dana White is either like misspeaking or it's a different version of it, in the sense that they might have offered him more money for a fight that he ended up turning down? Like, let's say last year, when he was saying, I either want a title shot or I'm going to retire. And he seemingly wasn't getting that title shot until eventually he does get that title shot. That he was offered more money than his contract stipulated for a fight that he ended up turning down. Is that a possibility? Because that's where my mind went first.
I mean, I guess anything is a possibility. But the exact quote is, Gaethje was offered more money, but he never responded. Like,
more money is very ambiguous. That's why my head went
he's
there.
Always ambiguous. But like, the question is about like, hey, what do you make of what Justin Gaethje said? And he's like, I don't want to get into that. But Gaethje was offered more money and never responded. And so what he's trying to say is like, yeah, none of this matters because we did offer him more money, and for whatever reason, he didn't respond. And so,
we're good. That's what he said. We're good.
Can you imagine? By the way, like, imagine like, I don't know. There's a player on a team. OG Anunoby just came to mind. He's about to be a free agent, and the Knicks reach out to his manager and be like, "All right, time to talk about a new deal." Oh, we never heard back. All right, on to the next one. What is that? What is this? This is not how business is done.
Also, they had to have contacted him about this Paddy Pimblett fight.
Yeah,
at any point were you not just like, "Hey man, did you get our text? Like we were trying to offer you more money, man."
No, I don't think they follow up on that one.
They didn't follow up on that one. Wild. Anyway, I don't want to hijack the show. We're talking, and I know I did, but you guys are doing a great job of previewing, and I know we get excited about the fights, and I know people just love to hear about the fights, but this stuff matters. It really does, and especially when you get to know, again, how the sausage is made, I can't help but feel emotional and passionate about it. it ends up feeling like a bit of a cloud, and it's hard sometimes to just shoo that cloud away. This is a great card, great fighters on it. I hope they all get paid what they are due and owed and what they deserve. And the train rolls along, but I just felt like I had to react to those two little items right there.
No, we appreciate it, man. You had way more energy about it than us, which is much appreciated.
I'm sitting here going like,
I'm saying that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
There's an actual show that's going on right now in which I can share my thoughts. Now, let me tell you about this Brandon Bean press conference.
All right.
Guys.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Sarah. Appreciate you, brother.
Bye.
What if at the end of the day it was just they just sent the text like more money sign emoji question mark, and they sent it in invisible ink, and like Justin Gaethje, the video, he just ripped the dab. He just got it, and he like couldn't wipe the invisible away.
Oh shit.
And that's why they didn't respond.
Look, it was all very well said by Ariel, like, and he has a reason to be like super passionate about it.
Sure.
I think I expressed a similar sentiment early in the show in terms of there has to be a reckoning for this. There has to be a day where the fighters do something about it. But I just don't. The way Dana White just says shit these days, like, I don't know how much to even dive. Like, there's a part of me that whenever Dana White speaks, I don't know if it's even worth reacting or responding to, from the perspective that I don't know if he knows what the hell he's saying at times.
Or if he's just like, he's so purposely vague about everything.
It's vague. It's just like, it means nothing.
We're good. Yeah, nah. It's we'll figure that one out. It's all right.
You know what it's like? It's like when he was talking about the streamers, when the illegal streamers, and he's like, "We got this thing. As soon as they turn on the switch, we're gonna get them." And I'm just like, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, you have no fucking idea what you're actually saying right now. It's the same thing when he says, "We got these guys in the back. They got it down to the single digits." The single digits of what? Who's doing what? What are you even explaining?
I was saying it in jest earlier, but like the power slap social numbers.
Yeah.
He thought he was walking around like he knew exactly what he was talking about, and none of it made sense. A lick of sense.
And so this is why when he says, like, we offer Justin Gaethje more money, I'm like, oh, that's fucking interesting. But then there's another part of me on the like one shoulder, the little devil on the other shoulder is like, I don't think Dana White actually even knows what he's saying sometimes in public. Like, there's this one, and then there's this one.
I know it's old hat to compare it to other sports, but like, this is a sport we are fans of. If this happened in the NFL, and like, let's say it's Jordan Love leaving the Packers or whatever, or doing something, it's just like, no, we actually offered Jordan Love $10 million a year, an upgrade to his $8 million a year contract, and we just never heard back from him. So we figured it was time to move on. We bolted away from it. Like, we get these numbers. I always see people like, why are we pocket watching these fighters? Why do we care about what they did the contract? We're just here to watch the fights. It's just like, in every other sport, it's completely transparent.
And the reason for that is so that the athletes in those sports can make more money. If the second best defensive end in the NFL is making a dollar figure, and the first best defensive end in the NFL is making less than him.
Wait, number two's making how much?
It allows him to then go to a team and be like, hey, I'm better than that guy. Pay me more. And so it's not like an accident. It is very purposeful, and it makes a lot of sense why it would be transparent.
1,000%. And it's down to the dollar and cents, and we know incentives, and we know bonuses, and we know signing bonuses. Like, we know everything about these. If every other sport in the world that is wildly successful does it, why are everyone so against the UFC doing it?
Yeah, it's crazy. When I asked Ariel about, like, have you spoken to anybody who knows what's going on? And he's like, yeah, I spoke to Volk, and he said...
Yeah, Volk wasn't fucking around. He's like, I don't know, mate.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. All right.
Let's rip through the rest of these prelims. Atiba Gauthier, Andre Puliev. Your second biggest favorite on the card. He's like a minus 850. I think this is lamb to the slaughter. This will be an Atiba Gauthier knockout.
Showcase fight, knockout. And man, like, Atiba's got some momentum behind him. He can really be something this year.
I feel like the momentum really started when over winter break I opened up X, formerly known as Twitter. I think it's my first time calling it X. It only took 3 years. Followed by Atiba Gauthier.
Oh,
like, this guy knows what he's doing.
Okay.
This guy's on the ball. Knockout Atiba Gauthier. Nikita Krylov, Modestas Bukauskas. This is my GC's main event. of the weekend. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Welcome back to the GC main event.
37 of 41 for the minor have not gone the distance. Modestus, 19 of 25 have not gone the distance. I think this is going to be a banger. Now, here is my actual concern in this one, is Nikita Krivlov is a fantastic fighter, but he took those 2 years off from 2023, had to get shoulder surgery, came back last year, got iced in the first round both times. Like, I'm just not sure that the break, the injury was best for him. And he's getting a guy who is as red hot as it gets. Modestus Bukauskas is 6-1 since returning to the UFC. Confidence through the roof. I think Modestus gets the finish here.
Yeah, I'm on this. Like, if it almost feels like they reversed fortunes, right? Like, it felt like Modestus was kind of like losing some momentum, and now he's as hot as ever. And it felt like Krylov a little while ago was like one of the guys that we were like, damn, this guy's really making a run. He's been around forever. And all of a sudden, and now it just feels like that momentum has gone out. I'm on Modestus on this one.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a great turning of the fate for Krylov, but I don't know, man, with where he's at in his career, the miles he's got, man, 41 professional fights, the injury, and then getting knocked out twice last year, and then going against a red-hot guy in Modestus Bukauskas, the Baltic Gladiator. Another good one, Alex Perez versus Charles Johnson. You talk about flipping inverse. Yeah. Alex Perez, 1-5 in his last 6. Yeah. Charles Johnson, 5-1 in his last 6. And one of those wins is a knockout win over current champion Joshua Van. Also, you talk about exact opposites. Charles Johnson, this will be his 11th fight since January of 2023. Alex Perez, he's back. Like, he's getting more active. This is his 5th time in the last 2 years, but we saw him fight one time across 2021, 2022, and 2023. 9 fight cancellations in there. I remember there was a time where it was just like, Alex Perez got booked, so I can't wait for Charles Johnson versus Asum Almabayev.
100%. I'm a big believer in Charles Johnson. I think he's made tremendous strides. I think he's really like rounding into form right now. He has a huge opportunity here to be the guy sitting there and being like, yeah, Josh Van, I got your number. Like, that's a massive thing that he has in his back pocket.
The two I want to see on the mic this weekend is Sean O'Malley getting a win, cutting a promo on Piotr. Yeah. Second one is Charles Johnson getting a win and be like, Josh,
I'm here.
I'm coming for you, man. You can't hide, brother. I know you remember when I knocked your ass out in summer of 2024. I'm coming. Top 10. Let me get one more win, and then we'll scrap it out after you deal with Pantoja. Michael Johnson versus Alexander Hernandez.
I assume you're picking Johnson.
Oh, yeah,
too,
yeah,
right?
I'm picking Charles Johnson. Sorry,
me too.
Sorry. We roll along with the Johnsons. Michael Johnson taking on Alexander Hernandez. 2 guys on great runs right now. Michael Johnson, 3-fight win streak. Alexander Hernandez, 4-fight win streak.
2 guys who almost got like left behind, like abandoned by MMA fans. Like, it was. Now, Michael Johnson's been in the game a lot longer.
Yeah.
But it did feel like it was just like, we're kind of just like done with these guys. And now all of a sudden they have these resurgences. I think the Alexander Hernandez one has a little more significance. Like, it feels like he's really starting to put it together after feeling like a guy who was just up, down, up, down, up, down after showing promise early. I believe that Alexander Hernandez is going to win this fight. But Michael Johnson has shown, I mean, one of the biggest upsets of last year was that Daniel Zellhuber fight. He's shown he can still be dangerous and he still has that power. I favor Alexander Hernandez, but he's a guy who's shown sometimes like the mental lapse, it slips. Not recently, but sometimes the mental lapse slips. He has a mental lapse, and I think Johnson could take advantage of that if he does slip up, but I expect that we're going to see Hernandez on good form.
Never count out Michael Johnson. I do feel like the 3-fight winning streak is like Michael Johnson just kind of being like, yep, this is how good I am. Alexander Hernandez, this does feel like he's making improvements. This also just feels like a fight where whoever's winning is going to be winning until they're not. That's just like the definition of Michael Johnson fights and Alexander Hernandez fights of a few years back. So we'll see. I'll side with Michael Johnson to go.
Fair enough.
Opposing.
It's close, right, on the odds?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's come down. Michael Johnson opened as a fairly decent sized dog, like a plus 170. He's like a plus 130 now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Josh Hokett, Denzel Luke Fox Freeman, the Incredible Hulk versus Luke Fox.
Another superhero battle.
Yeah, superhero battle.
Wasn't he in a superhero battle last time too?
Probably.
Luke Fox?
Shout out to Denzel Luke Fox Freeman. They're just so early into their careers. I'd like to see it go 15 minutes and Josh Hokett not really able to get takedowns, because then we can see how he is as a fighter. But I imagine
he will get takedowns, though.
I imagine he's just going to spam takedowns and try to control on top.
I got to say, there's people who love Hokett. There's people who have some problems with some of the stuff he says on the microphone. He's talented, man, and I think this division needs a guy like him, especially like in terms of the energy. Again, not everybody's going to agree with some of the things he says, but as far as like getting on the mic, making it known that you're, somebody who needs to be respected and somebody who is going to make a splash in the division, and then he's been backing it up with the performances. Like it wouldn't be the worst thing for Hokit to get a win here for the UFC.
Ricky Tercios, Cameron Smotherman. I'm going Smotherman. I cannot pick Ricky Tercios with the good conscience.
He's tough, huh?
1-3 since the Ultimate Fighter. Just hasn't been able to.
I'm there too. I really thought Ricky Tercios could have been a guy coming off Ultimate Fighter. That was one of the seasons that I actually watched because I was working it, and he just hasn't been able to like put it all together. So yeah, I'm on the Smotherman side, but I'd love to see Ricky Tercios kind of turn it around.
Talk about how crazy this sport is. In 2022, summer of 2022, I remember this. Ricky Tercios versus Ayman Zahabi. I want to say Ricky Tercios was like a -300 to this guy.
Wouldn't make a lot of sense, yeah.
Now,
at that time.
Now Zahabi is like the number 7 in the world. Yeah, summer of 2022.
He's beat Jose Aldo.
He was -220 to Ayman Zahabi. And I think I fucking bet that.
I'm sure.
I think my dumbass bet that.
He seemed like a really promising dude.
Yeah, I can never again. The curtain jerker for this one, Adam Fugitt taking on Ty Miller, who will be making his debut. Adam Fugitt at 37 years old. I just don't think he's a high caliber UFC fighter. I think this is an opportunity for Ty Miller to come in and get a win in his debut.
Same page.
Yeah, I think it's just jitters. That's the only thing that would hold him up. All right, let's keep it rolling in the theme of UFC 324. Parlay Pals are back in 2026. Ended 2025 with a win. And if we win this weekend, we'll be back in the green, boys. We'll be back in the green.
Baby.
Already got pizzas. Yeah, there it is from the end of last year. Nemkov, Amasov, Cyborg, and Kopp. That got us to down less than a unit. Already got Pizzi's pick. He is taking Atiba Gauthier by knockout. -4.
Fucking hell.
25. Frankie.
Why is that a fucking hell, Frankie?
It's a good fucking hell.
Oh, okay.
Fucking hell.
Frankie, what's the order, man?
The order is Connor, Rick.
Wait, no randomizer? You're just deciding?
Well, that's what
No, I think actually normally I decide.
Yeah. But I'm going with Waldo Cortez Acosta. So
Salsa
you guys
boy in
figure
the house.
yourself out.
Salsa boy in the house.
We did that whole breakdown. We're like, this is why Derek Lewis is dangerous. And
I'll go Sugar Sean O'Malley.
I like it. I'll go with Natty Ice, Natalia Silva.
All right. What's that get us to? Graphic Man. +203. Not bad. Not bad. That'll get us well into the green.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's not bad. All right, let me rip through my bets real quick. We start with the aforementioned curtain jerker, Ty Miller, inside the distance. Yeah, I just don't think Adam Fugitt is UFC level, like I said, and I think he keeps his head on the center line too much. Ty Miller has big knockout power. I think he can put him out here. Didn't get it done on Contender Series. Think he gets it done here in his debut. Next up, we're going with the dog, the ageless wonder, Michael Johnson. Big fan of Alexander Hernandez's resurgence. Love the, what is it? Please, what's the mantra of the team for Alexander Hernandez?
Oh, I forgot
don't
already.
Tell me.
Yeah.
Please don't. I'm really butchering that one.
Yeah, you keep going. I'll look it up.
Either way, I'm going with Team No Thank You. Team No Thank You.
That's right.
Michael Johnson, money line. I think this one's going to stay standing, and I always give Michael Johnson a puncher's chance in a boxing match. We roll
Team No
along.
Thanks.
Yeah, Team No Thanks. Shout out. From Johnson to Johnson, and I ain't talking about shampoo. Charles Johnson, I think he continues his ascent. This is a line that we can look back on next week, and it's either A, man, Alex Perez has fought the best of the best at 125. Why was he an underdog like that? Or B, well, I can tell you he's 1-5 in his last 6. Or B, that Charles Johnson line was a steal going against Alex Perez, who's 1-5 in his last 6.
I love the ones that we look back and go, we should have known.
We should have bet more. That's my favorite thing to say. We keep going. Modestas Bukauskas, the Baltic Gladiator, gets a knockout win over Nikita Krylov. Just don't like the time off up until last year. Don't like the injuries he's had to deal with, the surgeries he's had to get. We keep going to the main card. Derek Lewis, KO. Just a small sprinkle. +380 on the Black Beast to get it done in a assuredly going to be a striking affair for 15 minutes or as long as it lasts. I always give him a shot to get the knockout. 16 in his UFC career. To the co-main event, Sean O'Malley money line. I like the striking of Sean O'Malley. I'm seeing a 30-27 decision victory for Sugar. And then the main event, I'm just taking Paddy Pimblett. I'm not getting crazy. I'm not getting too wild with my picks at the beginning of this year. Just a lot of money lines, one inside the distance and one KO. And then I do have a parlay. Atiba Gauthier inside the distance. Umar by sub or decision. That gets the minus 1,500 down to minus 500. I don't think he's going to knock out Davis, and he hasn't had a knockout since the Raoni Barcelos fight. I think that was the last time he got it. And then Natalia Silva money line to finish us off, minus 115. And those are the picks.
I like it.
That's for UFC 324. We did talk about Waldo Cortez Acosta.
Shout out
to him. As we continue to go through the world's cuisine, we figured what better time to try Dominican food than when Waldo Cortez Acosta is on this hot streak. So me and Frankie hopped in the Winnebago, went all the way up to Washington Heights, little Dominican Republic, to try just that this past Saturday. Take a look. Okay, we are here in beautiful Washington Heights, known to many as Little Dominican Republic. And you might be asking yourself, Connor, what are you doing in a place that's supposed to represent a tropical paradise in an actual blizzard? It is dumping snow right now. Well, in 2025, one man took the fighting world by storm, or should I say, a boy, a salsa boy. In honor of Waldo Cortez Acosta, we are here at Malecón to try the best fare La República Dominicana has to offer. Fight Feast episode 31. Vamos. Can we do mango? We're going to do it with salami, egg, and fried cheese. Whole roast chicken. Kipe, we'll do 3 of those. Mini shrimp mofongo, and then a sancocho. Por favor. Chinola. Chinola is first up. Passion fruit juice. It's like a... Wow. Yeah, a little bit tart. Yeah, this is incredible. It's really thirst quenching and good. It tastes like a sports drink. Straight from the Dominican Republic, merengue flavors. Similar color to the chinola. Let's see how it tastes. You know what? If you watched our Venezuelan fight feast, it has like a bubblegum flavor. Kipe, bulgur wheat, and ground beef. I'm gonna taste the wheat. The beef is good. Feels like it needs a bit of sauce, you know? Very like grainy. Yeah, it's like falafel and black pudding are the 2 best comparisons. All right, sancocho, a traditional Dominican stew here. Added some avocado. I've never seen this before, where you just plop some avocado in there. A lot of just like chicken on the bone. The bone is where the flavor hides. It's gonna be a lot of flavor in this one. Oh yeah. I'm sorry for doubting you. The avocado is tremendous in that. Yeah, this will get you warm and cozy on a blizzard snow day. I'll tell you that much. What do you think this is? Pork? I go for it? Yeah?
Looks like oxtail.
I think it is oxtail. Just full of surprises in here. A nice layered soup. Is this a corn? Is this a piece of corn? Yeah, I'm in. Oh, it's hot. It's so hot. I'm in on sancocho. This is phenomenal. I'll grab one drumstick. You grab the other, Frankie. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. I lost skin. Cheers, brother. Putting a little sauce on mine. Heard this is the best rotisserie chicken in all of New York. Bro. Pretty fucking good. Bro. Unbelievable. Just melts off the bone. Living in a Costco fever dream my whole life thinking that was good rotisserie chicken. Brother, the skin is screaming with flavor. The gringos are loose in the Dominican restaurants. We're done eating like savages now. Let's get some rice, plate it up. Let's get some beans. Oh yeah, beans with every meal. Fork and knife this bad boy. Add a little avocado on there. Some sort of verde sauce there. Not creamy, whoa, vinegary. I didn't plate it pretty, I'm not a chef. Don't hate on me. Unbelievable. Simple, rice, beans, chicken, avocado. Could eat it all day. This green creamy sauce is crack. I don't know what this is, but I need a gallon of it to take home. It's actual crack cocaine. Shrimp mofongo, crushed up green plantains, shrimp. Frank almost jumped out of his pants when I ordered the shrimp dish. This is mofongo, so this is fried plantains mashed up. Puerto Rican, we still have to do the mango, which is boiled, and that's Dominican. Avocado just makes every one of these dishes better. Flavorful, tropical, hearty. It's fantastic. Here we go, shrimp boy.
It's delicious shrimp. As a shrimp connoisseur, I know what I'm talking about.
Bugs of the sea, Mysterious Frankie. All right, this is the mango. This is Dominican Republic's answer to Puerto Rico's mofongo. Boiled or steamed plantains and then mashed up. Salsa ajo. Always been a salsa ajo guy my whole life. Everybody knows that. Tres golpes. That is the fried egg, the fried cheese, and the fried salami. That makes the trifecta with the mango, which is the mashed plantains. Oh yeah, let's get a little yolk in there. A bite fit for a king. Here we go. Wow. If Tres Golpes is Dominican Republic's answer to the English breakfast, I think it might win. This is a hardy working man's meal. So I'm about to put in some hard labor putting this thing back and then logging about 10 hours. It's just hard manual work. This is a fucking breakfast. We got a birthday over there or something? Hey, please cumpleaños a ti. Did get to the bottom of this mystery magic sauce, the crack that I was talking about earlier. This is ajo sauce, a garlic aioli essentially. One of the best sauces I've had. I was like, yo, could I get a couple more? I meant gallon drums, giant tubs of it. This will not suffice. If I'm getting any sort of Latin American cuisine, you know I'm getting a tres leches. All-time favorite dessert, the moistness. Let's get a little bit of that berry in there. It's so fucking good every time. The condensed milk on the bottom too is frigid. It is ice cold, but that makes it so good. I have a theory that they might have this in a colder refrigerator because it is jarring how much colder it is than the cake. I was 30 years old the first time I tried this dessert. It is so fucking good. I'm not shitting you. If you don't like tres leches, I actually don't fucking like you.
You're gonna eat the whole fucking cake.
There you go. It's so good. Here we go.
Oh man, nice and soggy. It is nice and frigid.
You taste the temperature difference.
Yeah, it's like you can feel it in the roots of your teeth.
Unbelievable. Enjoyed this very much. Give me that rotisserie chicken and a tres leches with 6 containers of salsa ajo. I'll be happy. La comida de la República Dominicana es muy bien. I'm so full. I'm done. How could you not come into this beautiful establishment? These rotisserie chickens rotating, the best rotisserie chicken in all of New York. And you know, a culinary secret here. All these fat drippings that fall off, they use it in the sauce. It's unbelievable. A window to heaven, that's what I'd call it. Malecón in the books. Exactly what we needed on this snowy day. A nice warm Dominican meal. Sancocho, the soup, unbelievable. The tres leches, always the star of the show. Mango. I like Mongu better than Monfongo. We did it for you, Salsa Boy. We did it for you, Waldo Cortez Acosta. We tried the food of your native country, and now we get to see a fight. Derek Lewis at UFC 324. Fight Feast, episode 31. Now it's time to go sit my ass in my warm house for the rest of the day. What a way to start it. We're out of here. This is the most New York thing. Little Dominican Republic. There's a dude shirtless in this snowstorm screaming, "Yo no necesito" out the window. Fucking honking out the ass. Love New York. Nothing like it. Being bald is not best for this. Frankie has excused himself. A tradition unlike any other. Frank getting a coffee when we start the meal. Frank inevitably going to take a dump at whatever restaurant we're at. And I just called him on it. I said, Frank, you always get a coffee, you always take a dump. He didn't deny it. So we'll see Frank in 15 minutes.
We're good.
It's actual crack cocaine. Shout out to Malecon. Shout out to Frankie. You feeling better, man?
Never felt better.
It really is a tradition unlike any other. I'm not kidding. Every single time. I'll take a black coffee, please.
2 minutes
Fair
later.
enough. 15 minutes later. Oh, did that fried meal not sit right with the black digestif?
It's a thing about fast foods, slow foods. If they sit on top of each other, they're rotting.
I got a lot of flack online. People were like, bro, you don't believe in TCM, the holistic approach. Shout out to Waldo Cortez Acosta, though. Shout out to Malecon. Shout out to Dominican food. It was simply delicious. Any excuse I can have to go get a Tres Leches, I'm going to take. I'm not going to lie, wearing this shirt backwards makes it kind of look like I'm wearing shoulder pads. And it looks like it's like a football uniform for like a team named Cortez. It looks like I'm like...
That's exactly what it looks like.
Middle linebacker on Cortez High School or something.
It looks like a Modell's. It looks like a Modell's jersey.
Yeah, legit.
Or t-shirt jersey that you used to get at Modell's.
Yeah, shout out though.
Did you have Modell's in the South?
No.
Do you even know what Modell's is?
Sporting goods store?
Yeah. But like, okay. Damn, that was our thing.
Do you have Sports Authority?
We had it, but it's not like in like the main areas. That's like in the suburbs.
Yeah, it was big back in the day. All right.
Dicks.
UFC 324, pound for pound rankings. We stick with the food theme in honor of Arnold Allen. Happy birthday to Arnold Allen, by the way.
Arnold.
And his love, his affinity, his appreciation for Tesco meal deals.
Yep.
We will rank our pound for pound best convenience store, gas station, snacks, foods. What are you getting on the road trip right before you go out for a long haul? What are you getting at the convenience store at the airport before a long flight? Your top pound for pound convenience store / gas station foods. Frankie, what's the order?
I don't mind telling you that I will be starting us off. Then we will go over to Rick, and then we're going to ask you to finish us off.
Okay, man.
All right.
I'm a finisher.
All right. So I'm a big fan of Quick Trip, so I had to get this on the list. But narrowing down what it is that I would grab from a Quick Trip and like a pinch and make my pound for pound, I had to go with the slice, man. Just a general pizza slice. For whatever reason, when I'm at a Quick Trip and I'm hungry, these look so appetizing.
Not here, though, right?
Say it again.
Not here, though. Like when you see them in real life, yes.
Yeah. I mean, this picture, it's like, how do you do it justice, right? They come in little individual boxes. They're like $3.99. I don't know. I mean, 10, 15 minutes later, you regret it. But at the moment, the magic that you're sharing with that slice is unlike anything else.
Not like a QT slice.
Are you waiting 10 minutes to hop on the road, or are you hopping on the road with that in your stomach?
You got that in hand, shifting hands while you're shifting the gears.
Oh, boy.
And then 10 to 15 minutes later, you're like, where's the next rest stop?
Yeah, you stop at another Quick Trip.
You stop at another Quick Trip.
Yeah,
I love it.
Then anytime snacks get mentioned, my ears perk up because I'm like, I know what I need. It's my number 4, which is just a bag of beef jerky. I went with a picture of Jack Links here. It really doesn't matter what brand. In fact, if it's one from like a local place, you know, like you stop somewhere in Mississippi and they're like, we got Uncle Dan's jerky. It's like, give that to me. I hope there's no mold on here. I hope that you've changed it out recently because it's going down the gullet, and I'm going to enjoy every bite of it. I don't fuck with the teriyaki or any of that, just original flavor. OG, maybe a little bit of like black pepper. The bolder, the better, but I don't like it sweet. I don't want to mess that.
I love it. I love it. Have you
like that too.
You ever had biltong beef jerky?
I couldn't tell you because honestly, I just open it and eat it.
Yeah.
And then later I'm like, oh, that was pretty good.
Have I told this story on here?
I think you have, but tell it again.
Trigas Duplessis
he had a brand, right?
He had a biltong beef jerky brand, which is like a South African meat. And I ordered some as like a bit for the show, and I ended up eating the whole bag.
I do remember that.
Yeah, and then I had horrendous diarrhia.
I helped you eat that bag.
Did you have the same stomach issues?
I couldn't even tell you because it's such an ongoing thing.
It was.
You celebrate the days you don't have a stomach issue.
I'm with you though, Frank. I don't like the overly sweet. Like, let me taste the beef a little bit.
I'm with you.
You know?
I'm down for a little pepper.
Have you guys ever had the beef jerky? It's like the shavings of beef that come in a little plastic thing. It looks like you're doing dip.
Yeah, I have.
I'm gonna admit that
it's like sawdust.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
I don't go find it, but if
Legit
like that's
like
the only
sawdust.
beef jerky option, yeah, whatever.
It's that finely ground. It's like, oh wow, all right.
It's like it is like supposed to mimic dip, no, Frank?
Maybe that's what it's for. It's like someone's trying to get off dip,
Yeah.
so they're like, well, I'll just do beef jerky instead.
Oh, dip.
Yeah, like tobacco.
Oh, okay, I was thinking dip.
Right? Oh, I get what you're saying.
Got it. Same page.
Number 3, I've only had probably 3 times in my life, but when the opportunity arises for a breakfast sandwich from Wawa, I am on that like flies on shit. Someone's like, oh, I'm coming from New Jersey. I'm like, oh, can you stop at a Wawa and grab me a breakfast sandwich? Or like, Frank, for the last time. No, I don't live anywhere near a Wawa. But the times that it has happened, and it was on a production set where somebody gracefully was like, hey, I'm coming in from Jersey. You guys want anything? Oh, I don't know. I've never been to a Wawa. Like, you got to have a breakfast sandwich. Then it's been sold. Even when Rick and I went with Mrs. Mysterious to Atlantic City, got some breakfast sandwiches. Couldn't be happier. Yeah, and I recommend it to anyone who hasn't had it. I did find out on this show that Wawa is not exclusive to New Jersey. It's also in Pennsylvania.
It was like started in Pennsylvania. It's like their thing. Like Philly people absolutely
love Wawa. I think Frank also got beef jerky at that Wawa.
We've had the Wawa argument before, Frankie. We don't have to rehash it.
That's fine. So my number 2 is really a bodega, a Wegmans, a gas station. I don't care. If you're holding, I'm grabbing a yerba mate from you.
Oh, yeah. This actually is as true as it gets. I can't believe it's not number 1.
Looking at this right now, I'm like, damn, where's my
Is that a good flavor, water melody?
Never heard of it before.
I've never had it. That sounds incredible.
The trick with them is like, look, some of them are really high in sugar and like they taste fine, but like when you get the ones that are unsweetened or hardly sweetened, like, and you really get those notes of the yerba mate tea, like you can't replace it. It's definitely my favorite, and that's a reason to go to a convenience store is just to get some yerba mate in you.
I've been known to enjoy a yerby or two with old Frankie. They are quite good.
And then lastly, I mean, I've probably been doing this since I was a kid, but if you're hungry, why wait? Get a fucking Snickers. I'm right there with you.
Wow.
Snickers number 1.
I like it though.
As my broken keyboard probably wrote it. Is it Snikers on there?
Yeah, there was a typo. It says Snikers bar.
Snikers Island?
Yeah, it's in Queens. No, nobody at Rikers Island is enjoying a Snickers as much as I am as I drive by on my way to whatever. For whatever reason, it's packed with the caramel, with the peanuts, the nougat. I don't even know what nougat is. But it tastes great. It's like they've definitely unlocked something, and it's something like, again, just like beef jerky, you go into a convenience store, you know you're going to be on the road for a minute, just grab a Snickers.
Respect, man. That's a great list.
What a great list that was. I will admit, I'm a little surprised only from the perspective that I've seen Frank have 10,000 yerba mates and never a Snickers.
Yeah,
I
would have thought the yerbs was
bullshit.
one.
You know how sometimes they'll have the Snickers here and the M&Ms?
Yeah,
I'm like,
at
there's
the
Snickers here, and you're like,
special
you
area.
even brought them
Kitchen.
to me. So I think maybe you're forgetting because like it was literally the transaction was to my hand and then it was gone.
I know, but the yerby, as GC called it, is such a like staple of the.
Snickers is a treat. Come on,
All
it's
right,
like
fair enough.
oh,
Okay,
I'm gonna be
that's
on the
fair.
road. All right, I'll
That's
have a
fair.
treat.
Also, this is not a convenience store, so you know the rules are different.
It's pretty fucking convenient that it's downstairs.
No, I'm giving you grace by saying like at the convenience store the order is the order. So fair enough.
Now take us away.
All right, number 5 for me. There's a theme to this one.
Okay.
There's a theme and then there's a sub theme.
Okay.
The theme is these are all available at a little known place called 7-Eleven. You ever heard of it?
Convenience store.
It's a convenience store. It's called 7-Eleven. Number 5, classic, iconic. You walk in there, you grab the little cup, you put the lid on, you stick it under the machine, and you get yourself a cherry Slurpee. Now, I'll take other flavors, but cherry's the one. Cherry's the one for me. We have another picture here. Let me go to the second picture. This is the picture here. You pull that you know the little ring?
Yeah.
You pull the little ring, get a little extra juice in there if it's too frozen. Shout out to the cherry. And who knew? New and exclusive, made with real sugar and real juice. It's not just dog shit for you anymore.
New and exclusive.
New and exclusive.
Shout out to the Slurpees.
Slurpee's iconic. Slurpee's classic. My kids are now on them and get sugared up before bedtime after going to judo.
Now, here's the thing. Do you go on Free Slurpee Day, July 11th?
Always.
Wow. Oh, yeah. I actually don't go because it's like the line is so long and Slurpees are so affordable that I'd rather just go when there's no line.
So, funnily enough, in my area, there are legitimately like 6 7-Elevens in a 1 mile radius, and like it's bizarre how many there are. So I can find a 7-Eleven to go to.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure they are the #1 chain store of anything in the world.
More than McDonald's, Starbucks.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Shout out to
like they have so many here. They also have so many in Japan too.
Remember the Slurpees at Dallas for the Paul Diaz fight? I saw people drinking Slurpees, and I was like, Connor, I'm gonna go wait in that line until I get an obnoxious.
Now, was it a Slurpee or are you saying a frozen drink?
No, Slurpee branded.
Oh, okay.
In the actual Slurpee cup.
Shit, for real.
And I was like, I'm gonna get the bluest one ever, so we'll walk around.
So you're a blue raspberry guy.
At American Airlines?
Yep.
Wow.
You don't remember this?
I don't remember.
You're
this
like,
either.
man, get yourself a Slurpee, and we had a whole like little bit about it. It was fun, but you know,
get yourself a
I guess
Slurpee
I
and a
just blacked
Snickers.
out that whole night. You know?
Yeah, it's fine.
Connor, it's funny that you mentioned 7-Eleven Japan because some do not know this. There are different sects of the 7-Eleven. There are different ownership groups. Sex. Without the sex, but SECTS.
Without the sex.
Without the sex. Without the sex, but with the sex.
Is that what Bilal was saying? Sects? SECTS?
I think that's what he was saying.
Yeah, without
and
the
so, there's a Japanese 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Which also extends into one of the 50 states of the United States, known as Hawaii. And in Hawaii, there are different items than you can find here, and they are divine. And number 4 is one of those items. You have probably had this, you have probably seen it, but the value and the price range that it is available at 7-Eleven cannot be beat, and that is the Manapua, the Char-Siu roast pork bun. The roast pork bun is a regular at the 7-Elevens in Hawaii. Here you see different variations. There's different dumplings and buns. But for me, it's the Char-Siu. It's the roast pork bun. Just delicious flavor. You got that thick, doughy bun inside roast pork with a very sweet sauce. It is a Chinese like staple, but Hawaii does it very well. 7-Eleven Hawaii is a completely different experience. Like I would compare it to like when you walk into 7-Eleven here, you're like, this is kind of like low budget. 7-Eleven Hawaii is a totally
same thing about the ones in Japan as well.
They are from Japan.
Okay.
The Japanese 7-Eleven is the one that brought the 7-Eleven to Hawaii.
Okay.
It's incredible. It's a great treat wherever you can get it, but you can get it for cheap, beautiful breakfast when you're in Hawaii. I have Hawaii on the mind. I just booked my most recent trip.
Oh, shut up.
Number 3, also from 7-Eleven Hawaii, deluxe spam masubi. Now, for those uninitiated, a spam masubi is a bed of rice.
Fucking hell.
With a piece of Spam on top, and then you got the seaweed wrapped around. What makes this deluxe is that piece of egg right there.
That looks fire.
That delicious piece of egg right there. I'm telling you, man, you pick up one of these on your way to like go surfing in the morning, it hits. It hits different. They got them
not bad.
I've never had it with the egg before.
Now that's 2015.
A little bit expired, yeah. I don't know if you can eat that one.
That price might be a little different, but I'll tell you this, not much. Not much. And that's the key to this. 7-Eleven Hawaii, you get in there, you're spending $6, $8 on breakfast, and you're leaving with a feast. And it's AAA plus cuts. Number 2. This one's general. This one, like the Slurpee, can be found at other ones.
We're getting back to the general.
You can also find it at 7-Eleven and 7-Eleven Hawaii. Arizona.
Oh, yeah.
Green tea.
Yes, sir.
Ginseng.
Oh, yeah.
With honey. Automatic cop.
I love how you included the entire name.
Here's the bottle that I used to get as a kid.
Okay.
I don't think they really make these like glass ones anymore because this is how they
see
used
them
to come.
Rarely.
Love the glass bottle.
I'm the can guy, yeah.
It like this is a beautiful bottle. Like,
yeah,
this
the design's
is
incredible.
An incredible thing. More commonly, you're gonna find this next picture was that 99-cent joint. You're gonna walk in there.
Unreal.
That can says 99 cents. Hasn't changed since we were kids. Cop that bad boy. 99
So good.
cents.
Like just looking at it gives me insane nostalgia.
It is so fucking good.
It really is. Like it still hits to this day. I could put one back.
I'm an Arizona guy, so I'll take the Arnold Palmer Light. You get a little less sugar.
I respect this about you because I always have been green tea over everything. Like I
green
like
tea's
the
my number
Arnold
one.
Palmer. I like the other stuff, but it's green tea's one.
We're aligned. We're aligned on this one. Shout out. You walk into any convenience store, that's going to be there. That's a staple.
Always. And that's going to be in any bodega, anything you walk into around here, like you can just go snack.
Have you seen the ones where they try to mark up the price because it says 99 cents?
Yeah, they're
on the
fucked.
can?
They
Did
can
you
get
know that
fucked.
they're not from Arizona? It's actually in New York.
I did know that.
I did know that.
And the owner is just like, yeah, bro, we ain't changing the price. We're good, man.
99 cents. Fuck anybody who marks it up.
I love it.
Love the company for keeping it 99 cents. And number 1, we're going back to Hawaii.
Okay.
As I go back to Hawaii later this year, spicy ahi nori roll. You can walk into 7-Eleven and get some of the best fish you're going to taste in your life. Now, granted, you're in Hawaii, so there will be better places that you can get fish. But when you're looking at this little roll for $2.49 and you're just like, God damn, I could start my day with this joint. Spicy tuna, caught from the island, absolutely incredible tasting. You roll up 2 of these. Sometimes they're like, oh, you want this? Oh, it's 2 for $4. You can cop 2 of these for $4. They got salmon, they got teriyaki, they got all kinds of different ones.
I also have to point out it's branded 7-Eleven Hawaii.
Oh, it's 7-Eleven
That's
Hawaii.
It's sick.
The first time I went to Hawaii, my mind was blown. When we walked into 7-Eleven, I was like, I'm going to get an Arizona. I'm going to go get some fucking Sour Patch Kids. When I walked to the back and it was revealed to me that there were these delicacies that I did not have back home, it expanded my mind, and I spent every breakfast there.
Oh, it's incredible.
Shout out to 7-Eleven Hawaii.
Need to go.
It's incredible. But Arizona's
They all sound amazing. I just will point out, like 3 of the 5 were not widely available.
Yeah, you know what? It's my list, and they're available to me.
3 of the 5. They'll be available to you for 1 week of the year.
And goddamn, it's going to be a great week.
Cortez on the mound.
Gets the sign. Strike
3. All right. 2 solid lists. I'm about to blow them both away. We start with my number 5. Doesn't matter if you're at 7-Eleven, you're getting a big gulp. Doesn't matter if you're at QT and you're getting a 44 ounce or whatever it may be. Grab yourself a giant fountain drink. Whatever you want to put in there. Blue Powerade. Oh, yeah. Shout out to Racetrack. Get you a big nasty. A big guzzler there.
How many ounces is that?
That looks like 84 ounces.
Oh, my Lord.
Just short of a gallon. 64, I'm sorry. Blue Powerade. If you're a real sicko, like a vanilla Coke.
What is your number
water? 1? My typical is like the 32 ouncer, and you get Blue Powerade in it.
You like the Powerade?
Oh, love a good Blue Powerade. Gatorade out of the fountain I can't do. Powerade for some reason I can. I don't know if it's just a Coke product. If I'm really feeling froggy, vanilla Coke is my all-time. Not going to see it often in fountains anymore, but absolutely adore vanilla Coke. Love it.
You're going, though, away from the carbonation because it's like, I don't want to get 64 ounces of bubbles in there.
Nah, I don't mind the bubbly. I drink a lot of carbonated water.
All right.
So yeah, I'm down. Whatever you're feeling, whatever's gonna quench that thirst, get you giant fountain. Quick Trip at one point had Red Bull on fountain. It was a wild time. Number 4, akin to your number 4, Frankie, the beef jerky. I'm not going with real beef jerky. I'm going with a beef jerky beef and cheese stick, whether it's Jack Link's, Slim Jim's, as processed as anything could possibly get. 2 things that typically require refrigeration or they spoil within days.
Oh, yeah!
If not hours. We're going to put them together and we're going to vacuum seal them in a plastic wrap and we're going to keep those bad boys at room temperature after they've been shipped across the entire country. You want preservatives? We got preservatives here. 8 grams of protein while you're at it. Beef and cheese stick, horrible for you. But there's a little nostalgia every time I get one. Number 3, got to get a little sweet to your salty. You know, you gotta get a little sweet to the salty. For me, the vice is not Snickers. It's not Reese's. But it's actually peanut butter M&Ms. Give me the, sharing size that you can reseal, handfuls after handfuls after handfuls. Whenever we go on work trips, these are always sold at the hotels, and I always end up going through about 5 or 6 bags of peanut butter M&Ms while I travel. They're just so good.
Do you ever not finish the sharing size and actually use the zipper?
Sometimes, like, not in one sitting, but like the bag's getting finished at some point.
I feel like I can't even close it.
It's just
I'm just gonna go through it.
It's just so fucking good. Those are the creme de la creme when it comes to M&Ms, in my opinion. Number 2. It's a bit of a special request that a company got done for me back in the day. Not everyone's gonna love this one, but it is a favorite treat of mine. Chex Mix, get out of here. I am a Gardetto's stan until I die. It feels a little more elevated. It feels a little bit more classy, but I'm going Gardetto's special request, garlic rye chips only. We got rid of all the other BS in there, just the rye chips. When I get Chex Mix and when I get Gardetto's, I'm just digging for those things anyway. These are elite. People are like, no, these suck, man. Oh, yeah, they suck so much. Gardetto's was like, let's start bagging just these things, and they'll fly off the shelf. Gardetto's special request. Absolute elite snack. So salty, so crunchy. Oh, man, it hits a craving unlike any other. And then number 1, you talk about 15 minutes, Frankie. I don't even know if it takes that one. You're playing with fire anytime you go to the roller grill, but I have been an attendee often, especially back in my college days, and nothing hits from the roller grill like a roller taquito. I'm talking pepper jack cheese. Look at that.
Oh,
you are
Jesus.
playing with fire, my friends.
Oh my
I don't
God.
know what's going to happen. I don't know how long these have been sitting out. I don't want to know how long they've been sitting out, but they're going in a plastic sleeve. I'm getting 2 for $1.29, and I'm playing Russian roulette on the highway with my intestines. Shout out to the roller grill taquitos. The pepper jack with like the crispy shell from Quick Trip.
Do you ever for 1 second contemplate how long it's been sitting there, or would you rather eliminate that from your mind?
Back in my day, I didn't give a shit. Now it'd be tough. It'd be tough.
Yeah, I can't do the grill like that.
It's tough.
It is tough. Either way, man. Got me wanting to run to a gas station and get some snacks. Shout out.
Oh man, it got me wanting to go
Spicy
to Hawaii.
ahi nori roll. Get out of here.
Yeah, you come try it and your list will change.
Where's the C in Snickers?
That's what I want to know.
Oh, I thought
Snickers.
I thought we double-eyed it. That was a fun one. Shout out to Arnold Allen.
Yeah,
Happy
shout
birthday to Arnold Allen. We did that in honor of his love for Tesco, the British convenience store, and petrol station. Frankie, we got any voicemails?
Ahoy, hoy.
Hey, boys. It's JB from BC here. Hope you guys had good holidays. I know I was certainly missing listening to the show, hearing all the banter between all the fellas. You know, it's really makes you realize how much you need it until you don't have it anymore. So I'm glad you guys are back and been enjoying the show so far. I was wondering, over the holidays, did you guys get on the Stranger Things hype train? I don't really recall hearing you guys talk about the show before. And, you know, Rick kind of hates good shows, but wondering, what do you guys think of it? If you did watch it, what do you think of the finale and everything? Let me know.
Appreciate the kind words. We are happy to be back as well. Didn't watch it. I watched the first season. Can't do a show that takes 10 years to do 5 seasons.
It's a fair point.
Don't have it in me.
Watched it and hated it.
I don't know.
And that's why I don't do TV.
Frankie, did you watch it?
No, I'm actually waiting on the recap to come out so I can consume it in like 20 minutes.
Let me give you the recap. It fucking stinks.
Don't even do the recap. Just don't even think about it. Just move on with your life.
Did you watch it, Jordan?
I did, and I will never watch a second of it again.
You went to a theater, didn't you? Dressed up as 11 and like had the box of Eggo waffles.
I actually shaved my head for the screening.
Yeah.
We had to cut to Jordan because he shaved his head.
Yeah. Andy, did you watch it?
Yeah, I did. And I'm like you guys. I didn't like it very much.
What the fuck?
She left the room.
That's all right. I mean, respect. It's 3:37.
We could have just said she left the room, though.
Going on, boys? It's your boy Peter.
What's up,
calling
Pete?
from Missouri, originally from Long Island.
Shout out to Mizzou.
Maybe 2 months back, I called in. I just wanted to get everyone's take on cruises. I wound up going on said cruise after hearing all y'all's advice, and just wanted to give an update. Absolutely loved it.
Oh, sick.
Maybe because it was a 5-night cruise, it was a better bite size, you know?
Yeah.
So, little advice for anyone out there maybe wanting to go on a cruise. Do a 4 or a 5 night. Start out with that. It'll be perfect. 7, 8, 9, 10, too much. You'll get fucking sick of it.
Do they offer
But
like
anyways,
cruises?
Rick, I got a question for you. I'm pretty, I respect how your takes and, how far out there you go sometimes and, how stern you are with them. Not a lot of people have those kind of balls sometimes to not just give in to the pressure of,
You're
oh my
preaching,
God,
you're preaching right now.
you're ridiculous with this take, blah, blah, blah. One of them that I'm a bit enamored with is, your take on Cyborg being the female MMA GOAT. I'm a newer fan. Started watching during COVID, but I like to think my knowledge is pretty extensive. I think Nunes is the GOAT. So my question is, if Nunes versus Harrison did not get canceled and it happens a week from now, I'm calling on Friday a week before the return. If Nunes wound up beating Harrison, what would you rank her above Cyborg in the GOAT list? If not, why and what would it take to put her above Cyborg? But, all right, peace, boys. Hope y'all have a good one.
Peace, Pete.
And let's go Islanders, baby.
Let's go Islanders.
I know Jordan likes that. Simple. I have Cyborg ahead of Amanda Nunes in the GOAT list because of the longevity, because of what she's been able to do throughout her decades plus of dominance. Everybody goes, well, Amanda Nunes beat Chris Cyborg, and so that's the end of the discussion. I respectfully just disagree. Juliana Pena has beat Amanda Nunes. Sarah D'Aleo has beat Amanda Nunes. Alexis Davis has beat Amanda Nunes. And at the beginning of her career, Ana Maria beat Amanda Nunes. If we just go head-to-head wins, then anybody who beats anybody is the GOAT. That's the blemish on Cyborg's record. And I don't think that a head-to-head win is the only part of the conversation that needs to be had. Now, there's a better argument that Amanda Nunes has faced a higher level of competition. But if you really dig into Cyborg's resume, it's quite similar, especially when she had her UFC run. The biggest difference to me would be if she was able to beat a Kayla Harrison. That would be a real defining moment for me. That would be something that might open the door to the conversation, whereas I don't think Chris Cyborg has somebody who's going to be able to challenge her outside the UFC, unfortunately. She's just too good, and I don't think that there's enough talent out there. But yeah, the Amanda Nunes beat Chris Cyborg thing just doesn't hold water for me. I get it. She has a head-to-head win. Amanda Nunes not too long ago lost to Juliana Pena. You can't just go, this person lost to this person, and so therefore the conversation's over. Amanda Nunes has a great resume. By all measures, she's number 2. But for me, I have Chris Cyborg ahead, and will continue to. The longevity, the dominance that she's exhibited, to me, is more akin to a GOAT like a John Jones or like a LeBron James. And if you are at that high level for that long, I'm going to just pay homage and respect to that. But if she beat Kayla, it'll be something fucking special.
Hey guys, Sully from Cape Cod again.
Sully.
Just wanted to give you a call, give you a quick update. Like, hey, I'm doing good. You need to work on me, and I appreciate all the love and support. And you guys have been great. And ironically enough, I know I talked about John Mellencamp and all that stuff, but a couple of days ago, he just announced. Well, he released a video with Sean Penn. I guess him and Sean Penn have been friends for years.
Is that Sean Penn?
Well, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but yeah, it's basically him announcing his tour this summer, and he's gonna play all his hits, which he hasn't done in like 17 years. I guess he just got tired of playing his hit songs. But Sean Penn talked him into it and said, "Hey man, just because they're hits doesn't mean they're good songs, you know." And so you can bet your ass I'm going to that fucking show, you know. So I'll be there. He's coming back. He's coming to Mansfield, Mass. Which, ironically enough, is where my parents took my brother and I to our first concert, which, ironically enough, was John Mellencamp. So this was back in like late 90s, I think. So, and so things have come full circle. You know, it's been pretty crazy going back there and seeing him now. So, pretty fucking pumped, man. All right, that's all the update I got for you guys. Love you guys. Go Patriots.
Wow, go Pats. Thank you for the call, Sully. We appreciate it, man. Glad to hear that you are doing well. If you didn't hear his story a few weeks ago, a very harrowing tale about, a scary moment with his family, losing, his mom and everything. It was a very touching story. So glad to hear the update and glad to hear you're doing well, Sully.
And enjoy the concert, brother.
Hey boys, what is up? Hold on 1 second. Sorry, cleaning some shitter at work. I am a custodial supervisor for a public school. My name is Marissa. I'm from Lincoln, Nebraska.
With the call is
I really
sick.
don't have a question for you guys. I just wanted to let you know I don't miss an episode. I've been listening for a very, very long time before Connor was ever involved, or Frank, or pretty much just Jack.
OG.
Eric Jack. Yeah. I'm already running out of things to say without feeling like I'm just stumbling over my words, but I really just wanted to let you guys know I listen every single week. I don't listen to music at work. I just listen to podcasts 8 hours a day.
Same.
Ariel has been a staple in my life for the last 10 years. But anyways, I just wanted to share. You guys are greatly appreciated for everything you guys put out. It is hilarious as hell. I probably could not get through my workday without listening to you guys. Boys in the Back is a great addition to Ariel's show, so very happy about that. Anyways, just wanted to give a quick shout out. Very happy to be able to listen to you guys. Finally found the voicemail number. Should probably put that somewhere where it's easier to find each time.
Like right there?
What do I know? Probably nothing. But have a great day, guys.
Oh, man. Great
The
call.
flush? The flush is wild.
I thought she said she was shitting at work.
No, she's cleaning the
shitter. Shout out. Thank you so much for listening. We can't tell you how much we appreciate it. It means a lot.
Team No
that
Music.
longevity.
Team No Music. Love the podcast only. Keep it up.
Boys in the back, what's going on? Curtis from Vancouver, Washington, calling back with an update on muscle shoots.
Oh shit. Let's go.
My boy does not work at the casino anymore, so unfortunately not going to be able to hook anything up for you boys.
all
But
good, man.
regardless, I'm hoping you guys can get it done. Please keep me updated if you're going to be having a live show. If so, I'll be taking the day off of work to come up to Seattle, hang at the Mock with you boys. Yeah. And Frankie, speaking of Seattle, a couple quick ones for you. Off the top of the dome, what are your 3 most favorite Alice in Chains songs? And have you ever seen them live? And if so, where and what year? All right. Love you, boys. Deuces.
Thanks, brother.
Oh, boy. So,
Let's hear 'em,
Rooster,
Frankie.
Dim Bones, and Wood.
Wood?
Yeah, Wood, like Would.
Okay.
I like
Seen
it.
them live?
No, I haven't. And then after Lane passed away, I while I fuck with the fact that they're still going on, I haven't really paid much attention to it.
It's a different version than what you would have.
Definitely, yeah.
All good. Appreciate you trying. Things are in motion. Things are in motion.
Things are happening. The muck is moving.
The muck is in motion.
Don't count the boys out on being at the shoot in March.
Okay, let me just say
That's all
something.
I'm saying.
I want to say one more thing though, is like live show might be like live show, like as in it's live and it's a show, but like I don't know about like live show where like people are sitting with us. Does that make sense?
We're not the type to do one in front of a studio audience, you know. We're not gonna. We don't garner that crowd.
Yeah, we're not at that level yet.
Will the boys be running around Muckleshoot in March?
Who's to check?
Who's to check?
Who's to check?
That's all we're gonna say. And then will we be at the subsequent UFC event the following Saturday after doing a live
Who's to
show
check?
on Thursday? Who's to check?
Who's to check? Again, live because it's live and it's a show.
Will we be doing a fight feast in Seattle on that Friday?
Who's
to check?
Who's to check? We just don't know. We just don't know, you know?
Things are moving.
know.
Things are in motion. But thank you. Thank you for trying. Shout out to your friend who used to work at the Muck.
Shout out to Allison Chains.
And Allison Chains.
Muckleshoot, period, man. I gotta get there.
Boys in the back from Dagestan. Happy New Year. Quick prediction
back,
for you
brother.
guys for
The
2026.
accent always
I've listened
with
to
the-
your guys' shows this week. You guys are playing Jamal Hill sound clips. Are you guys familiar with horseshoe theory? Like, basically, if you go so far to one side, you're crazy, that you end up with the crazies on the opposite side?
Sure.
You guys will eventually find a way to form a friendship with Jamal Hill. It starts with clips on the show. He's saying crazy stuff. Then you're going to have him on the show. I think the bridge will be unburned. We will rebuild the bridge. And come by the end of 2026, you guys and Jamal Hill will ultimately become friends. I'll hang up and listen.
I'm down. I'm down.
For it.
Great
But
point.
this is a very bold prediction. by
Yeah,
you.
this. I have zero issues with Jamal Hill. Haven't watched the videos. Don't need to watch the videos. I welcome a friendship with the former light heavyweight champion of the world. No issues on my end. Jamal is stopping this friendship from happening.
Hey boys, this is Marissa again from Lincoln, Nebraska.
Hey, what's up, Marissa?
I just wanted to call in. I did call in a couple days ago and left a message. And one, I haven't stopped thinking about how big of a dumbass I sounded because I was super anxious and was starting to stumble over my words and called New York Rick Jack. First of all, because my coworker's name is Jack, and
Shout out,
two,
Jack.
because obviously Eric Jackman. Anyway.
I feel like she saved it. Well. It was all right.
I just wanted to say I am pretty excited, even though it is a very unfortunate situation. I will be driving to Massachusetts tomorrow morning with my sisters because my dad is being put on hospice. And we are trying to get up there as soon as possible so we can say goodbye and be able to bring him back home with us. But I will be driving through New York, and it's going to be very hard to not think about you guys. And, yeah, sorry, I'm really trying not to ramble again, but I wanted to keep it short. So, anyway, I will be thinking about you guys. I'll probably be listening to the podcast on the way as well. It's pretty much all I listen to. I'm sure my sisters will be really annoyed, but...
Nah, let her hear it.
Anyways, have a great day, guys.
First and foremost, I am terribly sorry that you're going through that with your dad right now. I know that is not easy. Second of all, didn't sound like a dumbass. We appreciate the call. Continue to call. And thank you for the call.
Yeah, we appreciate you, OG. Shout out to you, and condolences to the family. And enjoy New York if you stop in, if you take a little break through it.
Hey guys, it's Roxy from North Dakota. I'm so glad you guys are back. I listen to like all the MMA and UFC content throughout the week, and I gotta say, this show is by far the one I look forward to the most. I really appreciate the creativity that goes into it. Clever, funny, informative. I'm always super impressed with your insane fighter knowledge and ability to remember so many details. Anyway, while I was admiring or fangirling, whatever you want to call it, got me wondering, what is something each of you admire, appreciate, excuse me, or respect about your other co-hosts? Maybe something they don't know, could be personal or professional. Also, GC, I think I heard you drop your birthday in an episode with Ariel recently. If I heard correctly, I just wanted to say, as a fellow July baby of 93, shout out to July birthdays. If I'm wrong, my bad. I was super nervous bringing this in, so sorry if I sound all shaky. Have a good day, guys.
First off, don't let the boys get hot.
Yeah.
2 female callers, 2 women listening to the program. Secondly, nailed the birthday, 93 as well, July of 93. We got to stick together. There's a bond I feel with other 93 babies. Me and Tom Aspinall met, and he was just like, we dapped up, and he's like, you a 93 baby?
You're
I was like, Tom, hey, that's how you know, baby. Second of all, third of all, things that I admire about my other co-hosts. All right, here we go. Rick's uncanny work ethic is something truly to behold. I mean, it's incredible how hard this guy goes and how fucked this entire operation would be without him. It truly cannot be overstated how much he does for this. Also, vocabulary is incredible. Drops a lot of words where I'm like, I'm gonna have to grab the dictionary later on and look that one up. Frankie, ability to stay calm in the fire when shit is hitting the fan with Frank is incredibly impressive. Like it is, there's been times where shit is really going wrong and Frank's like, everything's on fire and Frank's like, yeah, just give me a second. We're working on it. It really is impressive. I admire that a lot about you. Andy, the ability to pay attention throughout the entire show. There's times where I'm like locked in listening and I like just will zone out for a second. Andy has to stay locked in, dialed in the entire time. Every single camera switch that you're seeing, she is manually pressing the button to do based off of who is talking, what we're going to, like having the assets in order, like the organizational skills, the attention span is truly something to behold. Jordan is a hero in my eyes because he has assisted in the asset load and the amount of times that I go in and I'm like, Jordan's already done it. The guy has already come in and cleaned house on everything that I needed to do. He truly is a hero. He will be missed when he steps away for a minute, but he will be back in no time. Just a nice vacation. We know he loves those. And then Helwani, it's cliche, but like his ability to speak and to go and like formulate deep, thoughtful sentences and questions a lot of the time on the fly is like mesmerizing sometimes. His rant that he just gave on Justin Gaethje, I was not kidding about like the energy he injected into the show and like so like eloquently put his thoughts into sentence. It really is. It's incredible. I mean, there's times where I'm going and I'm like, oh, fuck, I just stumbled all over my shit. I want to talk for 4 hours and like doesn't stumble once. And I am in awe of that. So the entire team, all very hard workers and all incredibly talented in each their own ways. So yeah, those are the Fab Five. I think I hit them all.
Likewise, man.
That was really well said. Wait, isn't it 6? 1, 2, 3, 2 in the back plus Helwani?
Yeah, but I didn't do myself.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Pizzi, come on.
Oh shit. All right, go do Pizzi.
Pizzi's ability to just riff and make up bullshit as he goes is second to none. I swear some of those sayings that he says are not Irish sayings. They are just sayings that he made up.
Scrap. Are you saying that also they didn't invent every holiday as well? Did Pizzi make that up?
I don't know. He says it with such conviction. It truly is. Also, his positive attitude. I know he like shits on things sometimes, like jokingly, but like when you're with the dude, he has a smile on his face the entire time.
Yeah, it 100%. These were all really well said. I'm going to try and go short because you said some amazing things. Connor is the funniest, most naturally funny, charismatic person I know. I've said this many times to him. I've said this many times to others. Nobody makes me like belly laugh like Connor. He just has a way about him that I've never quite come across somebody who is so quick and naturally funny and just always makes me laugh. Frank has a very, very high emotional IQ. Frank is very attuned to people's kind of like needs, wants, understanding. It kind of speaks to like what you're talking about, like him being calm in the fire. Frank has a way of always knowing like what needs to get done and kind of like calibrate and temperature check and do those types of things. But he has a very high emotional IQ. He's also at times he can be vulnerable, and I appreciate that about him. He's a good person to have in your life. I'll go down the bench. Jordan has never said no to anything in his entire life. If something needs to get done, Jordan's call number one. He's just
almost to his detriment. Things just get done.
No, because now
hey man, what can I help? And he's just like, it's already done.
Wait,
yeah.
Could I say
no? No, you're not allowed. You're not allowed to say no.
To the point where
you're allowed to say no.
I'm sitting on my ass as we're prepping for the show, and he's actually like doing stuff. And Helwani's like, "Hey, can we grab that?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, I got you, Jordan. I'm grabbing XYZ." He's like, "It's already in the system, man. I've already done it." And I'm like, "All right, dude."
Fucking hell. Super proactive, always willing to lend a helping hand. Drives things forward that need to be driven forward. Just a beast of a person, and somebody you'd want next to you in the foxhole. Andy, you mentioned the organization. Andy is able to juggle a lot of different things at once. She's kind of just like a superhero at times. Like when it comes to, hey, we need to go get this done, we need to go get this done, and we need to go get this done. She's somehow able to like connect all those things, keep them together. No surprise, she's a mom. Like that's kind of like, I see that in my wife at times as well. But just that ability to kind of keep us moving in the right direction and keep all the balls in the air. Reliable, trustworthy, never have to tell Andy anything twice. Like once we have a conversation, it's kind of locked in stone, and she's incredible. And then Helwani, there's the obvious stuff, like the best interviewer in the world. Like I think he could sit down and interview anybody. As you said, like he could sit down and riff with anybody. Like he just has that ability to be on at all times, or even when it's like we're off, the moment the camera hits, he's on, and it's an uncanny kind of thing. He's very talented in that. But beyond that, he has just like very good instincts. When Helwani gets in his way about something and feels like something needs to be a certain way, 9 out of 10 times it's the right instinct, and he really just like that has guided him well, and he's able to follow through with it. But yeah, everybody on the team has like their qualities that I think make this team like pretty special.
You said reliable. The entirety of the team is like you have no worries about stuff getting done.
Yeah, the ball doesn't drop very often. And Pete, fucking hell. He's gonna be like,
$30 million for the kitchen.
You motherfuckers didn't mention me.
Hey, wasn't here all week, man. I barely forgot. I almost forgot about it.
Don't drop any balls, except for when it comes to our Irish co-host.
We hope he's feeling better. On Pete, he is. If I had to bury a body, he's called number one. If I was in the most desperate, dire danger of all time, I'm ringing up Pete and just being like, well, guess what, Pete? We got a body to bury. And he'd be like, I'll be there with a shovel.
If I want to have a guaranteed enjoyable evening and I had to spend it with one person, it'd probably be Pete.
I like that. But yes, everybody's great. We love our team. We hopefully make good stuff that you guys enjoy as well.
Well said.
Is that all the voicemails?
Yeah. No.
24-inch subs here.
What's up?
Monday after this show here, my super chat got absolutely crashed out on. I've never seen a fan, this is a compliment too, like Ariel, who takes every loss so personal. Patriots lost twice in the Super Bowl by fluke catches, okay, to the stupid Giants.
This is the worst comparison.
Do you think I was upset? Sure.
Stop.
Did I act like my dog died? Never. Never. Props to Ariel for being a diehard. Bills need some receivers and some help. That's it. I'm out. Go Pats.
The difference is Ariel is a 43-year-old man who has never seen a single one of his teams win a championship. You're probably, in your 30s, and you're referring to the Giants Super Bowl in 07 and 11. So you had already seen 3 Patriots Super Bowls. You hadn't seen the Bruins yet. You had seen the Celtics.
Red Sox.
In 08 in between. You had seen 2 Red Sox titles. You were shitting out championships. Yeah, dude, that's why you were just like, whatever. I have since seen championships, like since joining the program. I got to see, Georgia and the 40-year streak and everything like that. I got to see the Braves. I was a suffering fan just like Helwani up until that point. The Falcons blowing the 28-3, emotionally wrecked me for weeks. I am talking about the morning after. My mom had to peel me out of bed to send me back to college. Like that's how bad it was. I was in Atlanta. I was in downtown Atlanta. I was at an all-you-could-drink bar. It was like $75 to get in. When we were up 28-3, man, pouring pitchers, smoking cigs inside. I was like, we're burning the city down tonight. And then you slowly watch the comeback happen, and you're just like, I cannot fucking believe this is happening. Where there was a whole theory that Atlanta had sold its soul to get the Olympics in '96, and they were never going to get another championship again. Luckily, the Braves ended that in 21. But like, I get the instant misery from Helwani. When you had winning hurts way more than losing feels than. Losing hurts way more than winning feels good. You win a couple titles and you're like, all right, this is what it feels like. Nice. I'm good now. I am so much less of a sports fan than before my teams had championships.
Yeah.
So I feel him, dude.
Nah.
I feel him.
Helwani needs one. He's going to get one.
Combo with the Bills hurts, man, because like the NFL windows close fast. That Falcons 28-3, we made the playoffs the next year, got bounced in the divisional. Shout out to Keanu O'Neal blowing it against the Eagles. Was a pass interference against Julio Jones. That's neither here nor there. Last time I've seen my team in the playoffs. It's been almost
one thing I'll say is they have Josh Allen. If you build around him, I feel like they can get back. But yes, I know. I mean, the championship windows in every sport close.
I'm just saying, Cam Newton was the MVP with the 2015 Panthers. They never even got close. 2016, the Falcons had Matt Ryan was the MVP. Windows are tough.
He's going to get one.
Hey, boys in the back, what's happening? Long time, first time. This is Andrew calling from Washington State. A few weeks back, somebody mentioned they live an hour away from the muck, and that's a bit far. Last week, somebody mentioned they live 2 hours away from the muck, and that's too far. I'm calling to let you know that I am 20 minutes away from the muck, and I am ready to gamble at a moment's notice. Also, shout out Steak and Shake. But let me put you on game for your trip to the Pacific Northwest.
Yes.
Don't mind the name, but we got dicks up here, and they are tasty. Pause. It's a burger chain here. You go ahead and put it on Fight Feast. You'll love it. Actual question I want to get to is the eye pokes and warnings. My proposal is to bring back the new gloves that curve your fingers. If you choose to wear those gloves and there's an accidental eye poke, it's a warning. If you do it again, that's 2 points. If you choose not to wear the gloves and you poke your opponent, it's an automatic 2-point deduction. That means if you win decisively 30-27, you still squeak out the win. Anything else becomes a draw or a loss. Incentivizes the fighters to adopt the gloves. Clears up when it's a warning because the fighters already made their decision in the back before the fight. Thanks for all you guys do. Let me know your thoughts.
Fantastic call. Like you got right to the point. Great question as well. I'm looking at Dick's right now in Seattle. It's beautiful. The Dick's are beautiful in Seattle. It looks incredible. It's like a classic drive-in. Yo.
Yeah. I want to go.
Suck down some dicks on the way to the mall.
Without the sex.
Yo, that looks fantastic.
The audio-only listeners are just like,
oh my God, look at that. Classic.
I've had dicks, and it was quite delicious.
Oh, shit. Let's go.
2 a.m. dick, you know?
Woo! That's how I like
dick
it.
or dicks?
Yeah,
Y'all see them, though.
You did leave the S off there. What did you do in Seattle? What do you mean by that?
I'm down to go, though, obviously.
Oh, dicks will be had when we're in Seattle. There's no question
find our way
about
to
it.
some dicks.
Gloves, it's just kind of tough because
2 points is a fucking lot.
Okay, I don't mind the 2 points idea. The issue is the differentiating gloves.
Yeah, you can't do
That's
that.
the whole thing you can't do. I don't mind the warning. All right, bro, that's a warning. You do it again, it's 2 points.
2.
I don't mind it, dude.
If you are in anything but a 30-27, you now can't win by points.
Yeah, I poked the guy twice at that point. Damn. But then I guess if you have the 2 points, are now people like they're trying to like kind of goad their way into the eye poke.
I guess that's something, and also like we have to maintain the integrity of the sport. And here's where I think some people are going too far in the opposite direction in terms of eye pokes. If I'm beating you definitively 29-28, right? Like, let's say you won a round and it was a close round, but I whooped your ass for 2 rounds. Not 10-8, but I whooped your ass. if I lose 2 points and you win that fight, everybody in the world knows you didn't win that fight, right? If it was an accidental eye poke, nobody's going to look at that win with any legitimacy. We have to ride that fine line of like keeping the wins legitimate, but also penalizing people who are really trying to cheat. And so it's tough. Don't get me wrong. Like, I don't think there's an easy solution. 2 feels like way too much.
All right.
Boys, Frank, Andy, everybody.
Don.
It's your boy Don Davis. And,
I'm sorry to hear the news.
I put the message out on a Wednesday to give you all some time to process, react to my sudden, unexpected departure and the end of what has been an amazing PFL and BITB journey. Some of my favorite parts of the last year and career in the MMA space have been spent with y'all. I want to thank Jimmer for the beautiful induction of the inaugural Don Davis voicemail award. It really warmed my heart to hear that, and it's almost as if he knew what was to come. Want to give a shout out to my fellow nominees, Jimmer himself, Nick Diaz, Sean Brady, Bodkins, of course, and yeah, you know, it's been a hell of a ride. And real quick, I do want to say some of my plans we didn't get to in the PFL that I hope John Martin and co. continue on with. First, Francis versus Eddie Hall. It's got to happen. Been talking with my associate boss, Mr. Paul, to make Dakota Dacheva versus Amanda Serrano. I think that's an amazing fight. I'm going to credit Bobby Blunts with sending me that idea. And Frank, you know, buddy, it's we've joked around about it a lot, but seriously, add me back on Arc Raiders. I actually am going to have a lot of time in earnest now to catch up on gaming. And yeah, you know, as Connor alluded to yesterday on Ariel's program, I'm going to have a lot more time to call in, and it will be fun to reflect on what I would have done in any given situation.
Okay.
You know, I've been taking up a lot of your time, so I'll leave you with this. It's a poem. One of my favorite artists was Khalifa, who graced us with his amazing song back in the day, if you remember. We all remember the name of it. I don't need to say it. And yeah, here it is. It's been a long day without you, my friend. And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. What do you fight for? Take it easy, boys.
Oh, fuck. Don. Bravo, Don.
Don.
Thanks,
oh,
Don.
shit.
We appreciate you, man.
I got worried for a second there at the start when he said we came to the end of the run. I was like, damn, is he never calling in again?
With ideas like Eddie Hall Francis and Dakota Dacheva versus Amanda Serrano, he needs to be a mainstay, at least for hypothetical matchmaking. That was truly a masterpiece, Don. What a way to end it.
What do you fight for?
Also, like, to use Wiz Khalifa's beautiful words there, when he was the music...
He's an investor.
Yeah, he's an investor in the musical talent at the 2022 PFL World Championships. It was fitting. That was beautiful, Don. Also, the name of it. We all remember
we all
it.
know
I don't need to say it.
Also, add me on Arc Raiders.
Yeah, Arc Raiders was... Also, like, the tone of the voice was perfect delivery. Just like, I know we've joked, but... Add me back on Arc Raiders. That was fantastic, Don.
Oh,
that was
Don,
fantastic.
you fucking outdid yourself. You're so good.
Worth the wait.
Thank you.
Yo, boys in the back. It's Jimmer.
Jimmer.
So I've been thinking about it lately, and it seems like Dana's lost some of the heat off of his fastball. And, you know, I was just thinking, who could the eventual replacement be for him? So I got some blind ranking here for you, GC.
Okay.
Blind rank these 5 potential Dana replacements for me, okay?
Okay.
So starting with number 1,
Hunter Campbell. You know, basic Hunter Campbell.
Yeah, go 1.
Number 2, we're gonna go with Chael P. Sonnen
4
is number 2. Number 3, how about Conor McGregor? He's killing it over in BKFC, so
5.
I think it'd be kind of interesting to see Conor replace Dana. Number 4, you know, he's a free agent, guys. He just he's looking for a new job, a new home. Why not the boy, Don Davis? You know, we've got all that insider information for the PFL, so if he moved over to the UFC, we got the inside scoop for the boys in the back, so I think I love that idea. But, yeah, lastly but not least, number 5, we got the guy who can wax poetic about MMA in his sleep, can talk about it all day. You guys know who I'm talking about. It's pretty obvious. James Kahuna.
Yes, that's one. That should be my
Ariel
one.
Helwani. What do you guys think? I think that Ariel would fucking kill it as the commissioner. I know he probably wouldn't want to do it, but he loves this sport way more than Dana does at this current point in time. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. Love you guys. Deuce.
Of the UFC, that'd be fucking crazy. Yeah, I think all those. I think every one of those names is fit for the bill,
except for Conor.
Yeah, maybe not Conor. Chael could actually do a pretty good job.
I think Chael would be okay.
Hunter Campbell though 1.
Yeah, same. Nah, Helwani.
What's up, boys in the back? Man, it is Dree. A long time hiatus because I had called previously and I gave you guys some info about a specific UFC fighter coming back from retirement and returning.
This is our Jalen Turner news breaker.
You guys put me on blast, bro. You guys played you played my audio to him?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like, come on, man. He knows where I work. Jalen Turner knows where I work, bro. I gave you guys the secretive information. I thought Ariel doesn't reveal his sources, but apparently put me on blast.
We do.
Right away.
Ariel doesn't. We do.
Now, not only does Jalen Turner know where I work, knows that I betrayed his trust, he commented on my post and said that I betrayed his trust, and he blocked me on Instagram.
Shut the fuck up! That really happened?
It's crazy, man. I was just trying to give you guys some inside tips. Trying to be a part of the family.
I can't tell if he's joking or not.
And this is what I get cursed with. So big shout out to you guys for hooking me up with an exclusive block. I officially stand blocked by UFC fighter. I haven't had any other celebrity run-ins. I did run into Robin Thicke the other day, which is random, but I ran into Robin Thicke the other day. So shout out to Robin Thicke. I know what he's doing. But I still love you guys. I still love you guys. I still love Ariel. But just,
blurred line.
You guys trying to put me on blast. And if I get jumped by Jalen Turner when I'm at work, it's your fault. I'm exclusively blaming Frank, all right? So, Frank, you had control of this. You could have stopped it. And I still love you. Bye, guys.
What's crazy is Jalen Turner played it off and laughed it off on the show. For him to go seek him out and be like, bro, you betrayed my trust, and then block him is fucking crazy. That's insane.
What's even crazier is calling into a show with a voicemail and then being like, yo, y'all doxed me.
Yeah, you've already been doxed. You had already revealed the source.
Thank you. Honestly, thank you for that tip, though.
Let us know if anybody else comes into the PetSmart.
If anybody else comes in with some info. This time, we won't play it for them, but we will play it on the show.
And then if it ends up being correct, we'll also play for them.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, boys in the bag? This is Jacob from Texas.
What's up, Jake?
I was watching the Ariel Helwani show earlier today at work. I was doing nothing on the toilet. And
a lot of shit calls today.
Around the end of the show, he brought up the TCM, that Chinese holistic doctor.
Yeah. Traditional Chinese medicine.
A lot of you guys question whether it was AI or if it was an actor. And I have to break the truth to you.
Who's to check?
It's my grandma. She's Chinese. TCM. Connor didn't know what it stood for. The Chinese master, that's what it stands for. She's real.
She's real.
That woman was not old enough to be a grandma. Or maybe she was because she's follows the holistic ways. It's traditional Chinese medicine, not the Chinese master.
It's his grandma. Don't question him.
Don't question anything anymore. Don't just like anything you see, just believe that shit. I'm down. No more fruit after dinner. It's rotten in my belly.
Six views. Don't question it. Just watch it.
Someone was like, "Hold this massive L, bro, for not believing in holistic medicine." I didn't say I didn't believe in holistic medicine. I thought he was like gonna drop like an MD on us, like with like a clinical study, and like it had like a bunch of attention paid to it. It was just like a random woman on TikTok with like 6 likes and studies holistic medicine.
That's his grandma. Don't disrespect.
He was like, there it is. There it is. Breaking news.
That was fun yesterday.
Boys. Ariel calling in from Las Vegas.
Wow, before his fight.
I just want to call in ahead of my fucking fight with Gaethje.
Thanks,
and
Patty.
just fucking say it's going to be another one for the fucking highlight reel of Justin Gaethje. The fucking highlight reel that includes all his fucking knockouts and all of his submissions, fucking falling asleep in the arms of another fucking bloke, mate. Honest to God, lad. After Saturday, I'm going to be taking that fucking title straight back to fucking next gen in Liverpool. Honest to God, boys. But that's not all I got to fucking say. I got to talk about this fucking Armin. Fucking posh boy Armin. Like, I get it. He was a boring fucker who was eating fucking croissants and big cups of coffee. That's all he was. And now he's had this 6-week press tour, whatever the fuck. And I see that you and your team, you and Ariel, are giving him this fucking award. Oh, he's a bit of a social influencer now, is he? It doesn't change fucking shit, boys. It doesn't change shit. He fought Hooker. And we all saw Hooker get his little measly arms in the guillotine a couple of times in that fight now. And I get it. He had his little pigeon neck twisting about to get out of it. But when he's in the arms, when he's in my fucking tree trunk arms round his fucking chin, he's going to sleep. He can have all the followers. He can have all the young'uns saying, oh, he's got motion and this and that. It doesn't change fucking shit. So once I'm done with Gaethje, if Ariel finished his family bullshit and comes back to the octagon, it's either him or Armin. They're both fucking getting it in 2026. And I'm going to unite the belts and put Armenia to sleep. King of the North signing out.
Thanks, Patty. I appreciate that.
Thanks for checking in, Patty.
You didn't address the sloppy shit your dog left on that woman's driveway. Sloppy shit. That was great. The Liverpool had me dying. And the, what else did he say?
Amen.
Liverpool. Thanks for the call, Patty. We appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Patty.
Thank you, brother.
That was all the voicemails.
Any super chats, brother? Thanks to everyone who called in.
Thank you, Patty.
You know it. If Patty loses, does he get straight back into the mix or has to earn his spot again?
He'll be fighting in the top 10.
Yeah.
Boys, we had the Golden Globes a few weeks ago, the PFL of movie awards.
That's not a bad comparison.
The Oscar nominations dropped, the UFC of film awards. Share your picks for Best Picture, Best Actress, and Best Actor.
Let's see. Oscar noms.
Best Picture is One Battle After Another.
Yep.
Best Actor is Timmy.
Okay, for Marty Supreme.
Yes, and Best Actress.
Best Actress, Emma Stone nominated again. Can she three-peat?
No, she will not win. Who will win?
Best Director?
Rose Byrne?
Jessie Buckley will win for Hamnet.
For Best Actress?
Yes.
Kate Hudson, Song Song Blue?
No. Jessie Buckley's going to win.
What is Begonia?
Oh, fantastic film. Emma Stone. It's about a gentleman who believes that aliens are invading the Earth and believes that she's an alien, takes her hostage, tortures her, and then it goes from there.
Let's see. Are there any?
Jesse
odds
Plemons,
for
by the way. It's a great cast.
Are there any odds out for this?
But yeah, give me One Battle, Timmy, and Jessie Buckley.
Okay, I love it.
Tom Cruise was on Tiger Belly today and did a really great analogy for how fighter pay works with fighters and the UFC. Highly recommend.
Okay.
Very cool.
Tom Cruise on Tiger Belly. Pulling it up now.
You think numbered events will match pay-per-view pacing?
Yes.
For sure.
I think it'll be identical.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be much difference in the product on Saturday night.
Any news on Yair Rodriguez?
No.
No, but we appreciate the two super chats. Nah, haven't heard a thing about Yair.
Can we put our heads together on this White House stuff? Reading between the lines, if Chandler Masvidal doesn't work for Dana, then may want to feed Conor to someone who'll be around if he's on the card. Patty if he loses, who else?
I'd say Patty if he wins.
Yeah, Patty if he wins. Islam?
Nah, I don't think Islam would give Conor that shine, honestly.
Oh, wow.
I think Khabib and Islam would probably rather not fight Conor than beat Conor. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, interesting.
Why give him like
massive payday?
Yeah,
easy fight.
Exactly. Like, why let him back in this thing? Keep him outside of it. It'd be a massive fight, though.
That's what I'm saying. Massive fight, massive payday, easy win.
Patty versus Conor does make sense.
It'd be huge. It'd be huge.
7-Eleven dogs, lemon lays, and a yellow Powerade.
Wow, lemon lays.
What is lemon lays? Oh, lemon lays chips?
Yeah, I guess. Lemon lays? Oh, like limon.
Limon, okay.
Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds like a great combo, man. I like it. Hot dogs and potato chips are sneaky. They're fantastic.
And lastly, Frank missed my super chat yesterday. But are we bringing Ariel to Muckleshoot Roadshow? Have to get payback for Miami.
Let me just be very clear. Not a roadshow. No live audience. We'll be doing a show at Muckleshoot. We may be doing a show at Muckleshoot.
Who the fuck is we?
We may be doing a show at Muckleshoot. There may be a live stream of it, but
there may be, we may be overlooking the beautiful mountains in a public place, and you could swing by and be like, "Yo, holy shit, there they are."
Who knows? Who's to check?
Who's to check?
But I wouldn't anticipate like buying tickets to come see
you. I actually can guarantee you will not be buying tickets. At most, we do like we're getting beers at the Muck.
Yeah,
come join.
I am selling tickets though, so if you want, just Venmo me. I'm sure you'll get a ticket somewhere.
On the next show or on the next Helwani show, put your Venmo up as a topic bar, and we'll make that happen.
That's it.
All right.
Oh, that's all the super chats.
That's all the super chats.
But I'd say it's time for us to go. 424. I got places to go, people to see. Apropos, we end at 424. I guess it should have been an hour earlier, 324, in honor of the return of the UFC. UFC 324 this weekend. Don't forget to watch The Crack tomorrow. Pizzi and crew will get you ready for fight day, and then join us at 8:45 p.m., not 9:45. We're an hour earlier, 8:45 p.m. right here for the UFC 324 watch party. Thanks for watching. We love you.